back cracking a cold one, headphones on, game day begun. Dialing up the podcast crew for the sports lowdown, me and you. Trash talking sports from coast to coast. Every game, every win, every boast. From the gridiron to the diamond, we break it down, leave no stone unturned. Defiant. Hoops and hits, goals and runs, we cover it all, having tons of fun. Debating plays, calling out the fouls, racing hearts and heated growls. Trash talking sports from coast to coast. Every game, every win, every boast. From the gridiron to the diamond, we break it down, leave no stone unturned. Defiant. Stats and scores, predictions bold, stories told, legends unfold. Nothing's off limits, we speak our minds, leaving all the haters behind. Trash talking sports from coast to coast. Every game, every win, every boast. From the gridiron to the diamond, we break it down, leave no stone unturned. Defiant. So tune in now, don't miss the show. Trash talking sports, let the good times flow. From the hardwood to the ice, we're serving up the truth with a side of spice.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. What's going on, Chattersbox? We see y'all. Xanthius, Wally. Wow. What's going on with you? Welcome. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Nine. It's been a long couple days here. Hold on a second. What show is this? That's right. It's Sunday. Welcome to Unnecessary Deafness right here on the Nonsensical Network. God, words are hard. If you're not already, go ahead and check us out. We are everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Shows live Monday through Sunday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And don't forget, you can listen anytime, any place, wherever you listen to podcasts at. All at the Nonsensical Network. Simply go to bio.link/Nonsensical Network. Don't forget, while you're there, to check out Beauty and the Beard Creative Corner. She does all of our merch, our shirts, our hoodies, all that fun jazz, but she can also do personalized stuff as well. Anything you want, she can get. Throw it on a shirt, throw it on a cup, throw it on a hoodie, throw it on pants, even some sweatpants and stuff, or just stickers in general. Beauty and the Beard Creative Corner. Let our girl Nikki know what you need, and she'll get you all squared away and taken care of. Anywho, guys, you know me, I'm Glick. We got my boy Rick, a.k.a. LDR in the building. Little dumb retard.
PPG, bitch. Go shit right.
And we are venturing into the interview game here on the sports show. So without further ado, I don't want to leave him hanging out too far or too long back.
Make the dude feel like he's not welcome or some dumb shit.
Yeah, right. I know he's about to come on here and embarrass the hell out of
you guys suck.
But Mr. Ben Kraft from Crafted Iron.
What's up, guys?
Fitness / like motivational trainer guy. You do a little bit of both worlds there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much. I kind of feel like all that kind of stuff like kind of goes hand in hand. You know, if you don't got up here right, it's kind of hard to stick to any of that kind of stuff or anything in general. So I like to push both.
Oh yeah. Well, we definitely appreciate you popping up and hanging out today with us. It's been a long couple days.
It happens, man.
That's why I didn't come up last night.
Yeah, right. I did 2 shows yesterday. But real quick, just so everybody knows, where can they find you at on social media?
Pretty much everything's just crafted.iron. Instagram's kind of the main thing. TikTok, I'm kind of been on and off on there. I have a YouTube. I don't really put much on there. Something I'm working on doing, but pretty much Instagram. But
That's
any of them you can find me on. Same thing.
Do it for the gram.
Yeah, you got
nowadays.
I think so. There we go. There's up there, maybe. There we go. Hopefully, I spelled that right. Yeah, man. Kind of focus on that one social media.
Yeah, man.
Up, boost it up, and then
yeah, it's like they all kind of got they're all a little bit different. So I kind of feel like just trying to get one down, and Instagram kind of seems the way to go for what I'm doing. That's kind of where I seem like a lot of guys kind of seem to follow. So I've just been successful at it. So that's just kind of the area I'm kind of focused on for right now.
If you're gonna start an OnlyFans, TikTok is where it's at, though. Let me tell you.
I know, man. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know, man.
Yeah.
There is money to be made. It is a lucrative market.
there is money.
People will pay for some weird things. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Believe me, I know. I've seen it. It's wild.
Yeah, it's not as easy as people make it out to be, though. Getting there you go, MK. And Chattersbox, if you guys have any questions that you want to ask, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Obviously, keep it, don't be a dick at the end of the day. Right out the gate, from watching some of your videos and stuff, and listening to some of the things that you've said and whatnot, you haven't always been as in shape or mentally clear-minded as you are now. Have you?
I would say most of my 20s, especially the first half of it, was kind of a blur. Really didn't like kind of get away from the whole drinking thing. So year and a half, I finally let it go. It was kind of like one of the last little things I was kind of holding on to. And I wasn't like to the point where it was like a problem where it was like Monday, through Friday, I was going like weekend. It was still an issue. And so I kind of finally had to let it go. But yeah, man, I was a lot of times I was the kind of the guy that would just kind of give up, kind of half-ass everything. Definitely dabbling a little bit of everything when it came to just about probably drugs, and definitely had my wild stretch where I was doing all those things multiple days out of the week or more. And I just slowly kind of like one day it's kind of like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Where am I going? Nothing's happening. This like all I'm gonna have is some cool stories. I'm gonna be like 50 guy, like, yeah, man, we did this and this, and I have nothing else to show other than I had some cool stories. You know what I mean?
And maybe a scar.
Maybe a scar or two, and everyone's still looking at like this guy's 50 and he's still doing this kind of thing. So that's kind of where that kind of like first kind of started like kind of motivating them, to go ahead in the right direction. I always fitness was kind of always an element, but I didn't always take it so seriously. Weirdly enough, actually, when I was in my heaviest drug use, I was actually a personal trainer in the gym, which was kind of weird.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I guess it depends on what drug you're using. If you're a cokehead, it makes sense.
Yeah, so that's kind of what it was. It was kind of a cokehead, heavy drinking at that particular time. So, sort of worked out, sort of didn't work out. Depending on how you look at it.
Well, oxymoronic there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but yeah, and it's kind of the last thing. I think the biggest flip I really had, like especially up here, was kind of like when my daughter kind of came around, I started like more and more kind of assessing where I was at. And I'm like, damn, like I got this little person now who's going to be paying attention to everything I'm doing. So I like kind of slowly, it's definitely been a work in progress, but I've just kind of like changed how I like thought about everything, my outlook, just because I want to provide the best example I can for her. And I'm like, you know what, I can't sit there and still be that guy like stumbling over, tables, drunk and that kind of thing like that, missing work, telling her that she can go do all these things like that. Yet I was a very negative person too. So I was always like everything, everything's against me kind of attitude, kind of like that. And so it's something I had to like really work on and change. And, now I take like everything that's kind of negative that happens to me and, okay, what can I learn from this? Okay. Even if it was out of my hands, out of my control, like what can I take from this? What can I learn from it? Because it really is a lesson. If you really think about it, and just about everything, if you really think about it, sometimes it might be a little difficult. but yeah, I mean, I just kind of like just completely kind of flipped my perspective, my outlook, how I think about things, how I push my things, how I let things affect me in a sense. I used to, just anything happened to me, I got a flat tire in a day, that'd be the end of my day. And I'd be going on and on and on, and that would be my excuse. All right, well, I'm gonna get fucked up at the end of the day. And now it's it's how you like kind of react and control. Now for me, it'll suck, but it's not going to be the end of the world for me. It's not going to ruin my day. I think 2024 actually was kind of cool in a sense of it really put that whole like kind of new mindset I had together. I had some pretty massive like water damage happened to my house, so I pretty much went a whole year without like a kitchen. So I was having to spend way more money on like food, different things like that. I had my uncle pass away. It was kind of like a second father to me for many years. So it was just like, and then there's a lot of little things in there. So it was a really challenging year. And in the past, that's something I really would have broken, like fucking went heavy into drinking, went off of like my diet, missed maybe some of my training, things like that. And I stuck to everything. And then I kept going, and I didn't really, you're human. So I had my moments, of course, where it was like, yeah, shit, this sucks. And, but I didn't stay there. And so it was kind of cool to see that the things I've been working on, things I've built are actually working, and it's actually going in the right direction by having such a challenging year. And I learned a lot from it. I'll say that much. So, so it's been an interesting journey.
Almost validates all your struggles.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
That change of mindset is a powerful thing. I mean, I just recently been going through that the last couple of years, my quote unquote journey to mental health and whatnot like that. And that was one of the hardest things, was to stop letting those little things. It was like you said, the flat tire ruin your day, and this happened, but what can I learn from it? Where can I go from it from here? That was a struggle, man. So to get past that and be able to turn that corner and take those negatives and not let them affect you, because I was the same way. I mean, I would have a bad day at work. It's like, fuck it, we're gonna come home. We're gonna do a show tonight. I'm gonna get hammered.
Yeah. Definitely. I can relate to that. Man.
Then you get hammered. It's 3:00 in the morning, and you're ordering $40 worth of food from Taco Bell, and it's just like that's.
Bro, I totally feel attacked right now. I totally feel attacked right now because a couple of years ago, like, in my depression phase, to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, went through a bottle of tequila and then ordered $80 worth of Mexican food, slipped and fell in the bathroom and broke a rib. Way to go. When do you know you have a drinking problem? When you're consuming an entire bottle in like a 6-hour fucking live stream. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good job, buddy. No, I totally get that, man. That's one of those things. That's and it's wild what I don't know how old your daughter is. I'm assuming that from social she's younger.
Yeah, she's
I've got 3 kids.
And she's gonna turn actually 4 this month.
Oh, so you got a baby. You got a youngin'. My youngest will be turning 12.
He's got a fun one that doesn't talk back.
Yeah. My oldest one will be 20 in April. So
oh wow.
But it's funny. It's funny, how kids will do that to you, man. They rewire you in the way you think. Maybe not right off the initially when my oldest daughter was born, I changed a lot of my bad habits, but then I got them under control. But then as life went on and, dealing with different things, it got hard. But going through a divorce and having the kids by my side and having my kids that were like looking up to me like, all right, this is where, I either break and lose everything, or I show the kids, look, you can stumble. And that's, it took me about a year or so. And then it was like, all right, let me get better for these guys mentally.
Yeah. 100%,
and they were my driving force to show them, like, look, just because life gives you the ultimate kick in the dick and hits that reset button, because I went from having everything to literally starting back over again. Like I was I was an 18-year-old kid fresh out of high school. It was like, man,
that's hard, man.
Ultimate reset button. But my kids have been right there beside me the whole time, and they're like, seemed like Dad didn't give up, man. Dad kept going. So like that's cool when you can show your kids, like, look, life's a bitch at the end of the day. It really is.
I think that's huge, and I mean, I think a lot of the stuff too that I stress, like it used to be like for sure, like I think it's probably with anybody with anything really, but like for me, like the whole working out thing, bodybuilding was just about looks. And now, like after I've been doing it over the years and the mindset kind of flip that I've had, I kind of realized how much like stuff it kind of like teaches you about life. Like it kind of is like, okay, well, for one, it's like you have to be disciplined, right, to get results. So you need to be disciplined in almost any area of life, really, to kind of get somewhere. It doesn't matter what it is, your job, whatever is in life, you have to have some sort of level of discipline, right? Commitment. You got to be able to like consistently show up on a regular basis. So it kind of like teaches you a lot of habits that you need to have to kind of be successful in any area of life. The way I kind of look at it, if you give up, obviously you're not gonna get the results. So it's a difficult thing. And it's one of those things, if you can push through, you can have other things now that happen in life and be like, well, I was able to push through this. So it kind of helps you build that resiliency in a lot of different areas. So that's kind of like, I kind of push that more than it is like, yeah, you're sure you're going to get healthy. You'll look better. You'll feel better. But it's like, for me, it's like a lot of that stuff that actually teaches you, if you actually stick to it, can really carry over into other areas. And that's kind of like what I really like pushing about it.
Yeah. I think that's where I think I can speak for Rick and I both. I think that's where we kind of stumble and fall, is that consistency. Like,
yeah,
you know, I was back in the gym and I was doing really good. I was going on a regular basis and whatnot. And it's not so much that I have no aspirations of having muscles on top of muscles. I just want to lose some weight and be in better shape because I'm getting older. And when I put on weight, I can feel it in my body. My back hurts more, my knees hurt more, but I've also got busted up back and knee and stuff like that, and ankle with different sports and other various activities from when I was younger from hurting myself. So, you know, I won't lose, but then there's that little hiccup. Like I had a little hiccup where it's no big secret. I'm looking for a new job. I'm currently unemployed. So now it's like my mind got focused on finding a new job. And it was like, oh, I'll go to the gym tomorrow. I need to buckle down and put job in. Well, I can do that. I can still put in applications and go to the, but my mind was like locked up. So it's just like I kind of lost that motivation to go, because now it's like, I got bills to pay. That's more important than my good.
I guess the way I always go ahead.
So I've been listening, and not to take away from what you're saying or anything, but I've been listening to. Have you listened to any of David Goggins' books?
I have not. I mean, I've definitely listened to some of his podcasts, and I do listen to a lot of people that are kind of in that same mind frame.
So one of the things he said is, if you need motivation to make a change, you don't want to make that change bad enough.
100%. I couldn't agree more with that. Yeah. You know, I think too, a lot of times I think we get so like programming in life, like any little hiccup comes up in life. Yeah. All right, well, I'm not going to do this. You like immediately want to like go away from whatever those hard things are that you need to do in life that are maybe going to help you better yourself. Like immediately want to drop that, you know, and go to whatever that comfort is, whether it's like food, alcohol, whatever it is. Like you immediately, like, that's just how people are like kind of programmed. So it really does take a lot of times when you have those hiccups or those difficult things to like kind of stay on task to those things that are, you know, maybe not so easy for your life, you know?
Oh no, for sure. I mean, I will say it's one thing that I've been able to stay pretty consistent on. I mean, I still drink. Don't get me wrong. I drink on Saturday nights, but that was always my go-to. And life ain't going the way it's supposed to be. Fuck it. You know, it was kind of like when I lost my job. I came home. Now that night I did. I told my fiance, I just want to get drunk tonight. And she's like, okay, let's get drunk. And, you know, but you know, there was, you know, I was drinking. Now I didn't get into the drugs or anything like that. I always steer clear of those. But even just 4 or 5 years ago, I was drinking 4 or 5 days a week. Yeah, you know, we were. Yeah, and then I hit a point where it was just like, man, this sucks. I don't want to not drink, but I'm, you know, now I do it on Saturdays. We do a show on Saturday nights, and that's kind of it's Saturday. This is cut loose. Let's have fun, and I drink on Saturday nights. So Sometimes I drink pretty heavily. Last night I only had like 6. Last night I only had like 6 beers, bro.
Yeah, some nights Saturdays get a little carried away, and Sundays are rough to make it to the podcast on time. And then some Saturday nights,
last night was super low key, man.
We can sit there and talk for 5-6 hours, and we might drink 5-6 beers the whole time.
Yeah.
So,
but I know Rick yells at me all the time. I'm like, I'm not giving up drinking. I mean, I'll go to the gym and whatnot, and I'll work out and I'll exercise, but I'm not totally giving up drinking 100%.
So when I lost all my weight pre-COVID, when I dropped that 100 pounds pre-COVID, I didn't quit drinking.
Yeah.
But I worked out enough to make up for the calories and everything that I was consuming drinking. I was twice a day at the gym. I mean, you remember, like I was there at 4:30 in the morning till 5:30 in the morning, and then I was there again at night from 6:30 at night till 8 o'clock at night. And this was every single day, 6 days a week. We had Sundays were rest days because we drank Saturday nights, and I could eat or drink anything I wanted and was still losing weight and doing it right at the gym. It just might have taken me a little longer to get moving that morning at the gym. Yeah. But once I got in it and got that alcohol sweating out of me, it was, here we go. We're ready to rock and roll. And, before like I just said, pre-COVID, I managed to lose 100 pounds in about 17 months. And it was strictly, everybody's like, oh, go see the doctor, get put on the, the shot or the pill. What was the fucking pill that they were giving out? I can't remember what the hell it was called. But,
I don't know. Everybody currently, the thing is, it was Zempic.
Yeah.
Well, they were giving out a pill. It was a form of meth, basically, is what it was.
Oh, I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about it.
They wanted to put me on it, and I'm like, no, fuck, no. I'll be dependent on it, and I'm not trying to. So I did it the old school way. I hunkered down and just started hammering at the gym and eating right. And, the only days I would allow myself like a pasta meal was leg day, because you really, you tend to hit leg day a lot harder than most other days.
Oh, yeah.
Because the average person, your legs take a lot more beating to get worked out because you use them all day, every day, moving around, it's a muscle that you have to absolutely push harder to get to feel. Like I've had leg days where I felt like I pushed so hard and I didn't feel nothing. And I'm like, what the hell? Then I've had other ones where I changed up the routine and was just hammering. And then the next day I'm like wobble walking like a newborn baby deer because my thighs and my hamstrings and my knees. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? And I didn't work out any harder or any longer. It was just a different workout that stressed different muscles than the other ones always did.
Yeah, 100%. The legs can definitely, for the exact reason that you say, because you use them so much, they definitely can adapt a little bit quicker than I feel like some of the other body parts, just because the fact you're, like you said, you're on them all the time. So they definitely need more stress. And then just the fact that generally that's usually going to be the biggest body part that you're going to have, so it takes a lot more to really break those down versus, your arms, there's a lot less to your arms. So it don't take much to really break them down. If you really know what you're doing, you can smash out a really good arm workout in 20 minutes, really, if you know what you're doing. Yeah. So versus they're, be a lot harder to say that you could do that with your legs. So
yeah, it's so I would allow my carb days, my quote unquote cheat days, on my leg days. Yeah. And I would eat pasta. But that also stems from wrestling in high school. We were always taught, the night before a heavy wrestling match, the next day, eat carbs. So your body's got the fuel to do what you need to do. So coming off a leg day, I would go home and I would make a pasta for dinner, and that would recharge me to get ready to go for the next day. So I carried a lot of things from wrestling in high school over, and some good, some not so good.
Yeah.
The ability in high school to cut 11 pounds in 6 hours is not healthy.
No.
But when you have to make weight for your meat, you will do what you like.
Yeah.
I can remember wrapping garbage bags around my midsection, my arms and my legs, and putting on a jogging suit and just running for 3 hours, and just you take them off and sweat's just pouring out like it's a faucet, and you manage to drop 6-7 pounds in 3 hours. Yeah. Not healthy, but
it worked.
You only needed to do it for that, 45 seconds of stepping on the scale to make weight. And then you could go and eat whatever the fuck you wanted after that.
Yeah.
Can't do that at 38 years old now. I'd probably die. sweat out things I actually need in my body.
Right.
Oh, there goes my kidney. It just fell out of my elbow.
It's definitely not the best approach, especially as you get older. That's for damn sure.
But when you're a teenager, you can get away with that kind of stuff. You
Yeah.
know, your body with your body change. Like when I lost all that weight, I think I was in what was it like? Probably COVID was 3 years ago now. It ended.
No, man. What was it? 2020.
So I was doing it before.
Yeah,
I was doing it before COVID, and then they closed the gyms and left all the fast food restaurants open because that was good. But we won't get into all that conspiracy theory shit.
I had the complete opposite. During COVID, I was able to lose a ton of weight because I started granted, I go to Planet Fitness. The only thing that changed with them was they were no longer 24 hours and. Yeah, and it was a weird setup at the gym.
I take your squirt bottle and wipe everything off on your own. Take your own squirt bottle with you. Everybody gets a squirt bottle.
Yeah, I had the opposite effect during COVID. I was still able to go to the gym, and it was around that time that I lost a bunch of weight. And in the last 2 years, year and a half or whatever, I put it all back on because I got that comfy engagement weight, happy relationship, weight gain. So it's struggling to try to get back in the gym, and it's like, all right, I gotta get that same focus and energy that I had prior, when I just before my divorce and just after, and then that I had a little like a 1 year or so break in there, and then I got back into the gym, and it was like, I need to get that focus and energy back again.
I've got a 13-year-old who is up my ass about getting healthier. And that's because sadly at 13 years old, he's dealing with the bullshit bullies at school. And it's like, bro, how do these kids are picking on you about the fact that your hair is curly? Like, you don't have control over that.
No.
So you give them a little extra weight, and that's just something else for them to grab onto.
Yeah, that's just fuel for the fire right there.
Yeah. And I told him the other day, at 5'8", 175, 180 pounds, you're not a big, you're a big kid, but you're not a fat kid.
Yeah.
I believe if you look at the specs, he's probably 20 pounds heavy for 5'8" tall.
Probably,
it's like
even that, depending on
he's filled
and
out.
Yeah,
and so he's up my ass constantly. He's in the chatters box too. He's up my ass. He's like, "Oh, did you walk today? Oh, what should I eat here? And how should I, how should I do this? And what do I need to focus on with my eating? And blah 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 blah." And it's like, all right, dude, I got you on some things, but other things I don't know. So I'm just doing what I can to help him, and it's kind of pushing me like, all right, dude, you need to get up off your lazy ass and go do something now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. This is some people it sets in and it kind of works, but you got to, to a certain point, like how many, 70, 80-year-olds you see that are massively overweight that are around. That's the way I look at it. So it's like, how long do you actually want to be around for your family, your kids, things like that. So that's always something to take into consideration if you're finding, hard for motivation or to get going. It's like, how long do you want to be around for them? That's something like to really, think about.
How long do you want to fuck up your kid's life?
Right. So for what was it? Where was I'm trying to think of how to word this. Sometimes words are hard around here because you started. You're the founder of Crafted Iron. Where was that? Was that something you always wanted to do? You said that you were a personal trainer prior. Was that something you always wanted to do? Was own your own? I don't know if you're shooting for a gym facility or if you already have one where you can have people come in. And is that something you've always wanted to do with the fitness journey?
Yeah, I definitely don't have one right now, but that is something that I've always kind of had aspirations for. I don't know. I just kind of got away from the whole like coaching, like helping people out for quite a while. But it was like kind of one of the one times that I felt like I did work and I actually like enjoyed it. So I felt like, you know what I mean? Like I felt like I needed to get back to that and and try to kind of build something and out of that, because I don't know. Like I feel like if you got something that you actually like doing for like work, it's not really work because you're going to something that you enjoy on a regular basis. So it was kind of like my whole thing, like, that I want to get built up. And then plus I was just kind of thinking about like, you know, my daughter gets a little bit older and stuff like that. She's got more stuff going on. You know, I'm still working like a regular job. I'm going to be missing out on a lot of stuff because, you know, most of the time I'm working 9-10 hours at my regular job, you know, on top of like pushing this whole like, you know, online fitness business and everything like that. So I'm hoping by the time she gets a little bit older, I'll finally actually have it going and actually have some more time on my hand to kind of still actually be there for a lot of stuff.
Do you do a lot of your training and whatnot with? I've seen some stuff on your Instagram and whatnot. Do you do all your training? Is it basically online, or do you have anything where you meet up in person with people? And
not too much in person stuff right now, to be honest. I just got a couple like family members that like come and then once they saw me kind of doing this, they started like getting back into fitness. And my brother-in-law, he does like go and work out with me on pretty much on a regular basis. And he kind of got back into working out after he kind of completely just stopped for years and kind of got out of shape for him, sort of thing. So, but yeah, I don't really do too much in person. Majority of it's just all online.
So here's the question: where are you actually based out? Like, where do you actually live?
So I'm actually in California in this place called like Santa Maria. It's kind of near. I don't know how familiar you guys are or aren't. Pretty close to Santa Barbara.
Poor guy in California. Sorry about
right?
it. Sorry about it. Sorry about it.
Sorry. Yeah, you had to get up early this morning. I didn't realize you were out in California. I messaged him. I'm up and moving around this morning. Like, yeah.
Oh, it's all good. Even on the weekends, my daughter, she knows like I'm gonna be home, so she gets up early and like wakes me up early. So I'm up.
She's ready to party.
I don't get much sleep on the weekends.
She's like, Dad, sun's up, guns up. Let's do this.
Exactly. Yeah. She's ready to go. It was last weekend. It kind of cracked me up. All of a sudden, you get that feeling when like someone's like looking at you.
Yep.
And I kind of like wake up and she's like right there, hands on her chest, and she looks at me like in the face. She's like, "Papi, you want to go to my kitchen?" And like right away, and I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, okay.
Make a breakfast. Make a breakfast, Dad. Let's go.
Yeah, she was ready to rock. So
yeah, man. Give it a few more years, she'll grow out of that phase.
Yeah,
I can't say that.
Let's say.
Wife's 13 and he's still up 7 o'clock. Boom, on the fucking nose.
As I say, Cash, my youngest, he gets up early, but he doesn't bother nobody. He gets up and
they reach an age where they don't need to wake you up.
Yeah, he gets up, gets his breakfast, watches whatever YouTube he's watching, and then he eats. When he's done eating, he plays video games, and he's gotten to the point now where he's like, "Do I have to wait for everybody else to wake up before I go outside?" I'm like, if your friends are outside, bro, go outside, man. Because that kid wants to be outside. Yeah, I'm like, just go out, especially like today. It's gorgeous out today, man. Yesterday was kind of shitty. It's gorgeous out today. And
it's trying to rain here.
It's like, yeah, dude, go outside, man. Fucking enjoy life, man. My daughters, however, they might still be in bed at this point. I haven't seen or heard either one of them grumbling around being mean to me yet. So that's the other thing you got to look forward to, having a daughter. Eventually she's going to reach an age where she's just mean to you, bro.
Yep. I'm sure. Starts around the teenage years, man. Starts around the teenage years, because mine's 14 and she's ruthless.
My middle daughter still does that. Come and stand over the bed, like in the mornings. If my alarm doesn't, because I get up, take her to school, and my alarm's set differently for hers. And if she feels like I'm oversleeping, she just comes and stands over the bed like a creeper, and doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything. And I open my eye, and it's like, whoa, you're gonna get stabbed. Stop doing that to me. She's we're already afraid she's gonna become our serial killer anyways, but it's like, just stop doing that. You're 15, almost 16. Stop doing that to me.
Just yell from down the fucking hall like most teenage kids do.
Bang on the door or something, No,
but with the the joys of parenting, like I said, man, they're fun when they're younger, and then they turn into the puberty monster.
It's funny you just mentioned the joys of parenting, because my memory just on one of my memories on Facebook just popped up of a video that I posted years ago, and you'll be able you'll be able to agree with this having a 3-year-old. Your days of using the bathroom in solace and silence are gone.
Oh,
They are gone.
The
You'd
craziest
be
thing
sitting in there, red face, trying to squeeze out a stink pickle, and the kid's like, "What are you doing, Dad?" I'm baking a cake. What fucks it look like I'm doing? And they no care. They just walk through the door. What's going on in here?
My she literally gets pissed if the door's locked. Like she starts banging her. Yeah. Like that.
You've got probably, I'd say probably 3 to 4 more years before that'll stop. And you'll actually get that 15, 20 minutes of time to yourself to just do your thing. But it was funny that you mentioned the joys of parenting, because that was how that video started, with me going, those of you without kids, enjoy it. Those of you with kids, here's a joys of parenting moment. Because your life is no longer your life.
Yeah. Like, speaking of that, I was like, it's probably been about a year now, because my daughter's like completely potty trained, but like she was kind of going through that stretch, and the little like potty training style like toilets that they have. So we had one downstairs in the bathroom, and I was in there, and she comes in, she looks at me and she goes, "Papi, I gotta poop too." And I was like, "Okay." And she sits down on it. And the weirdest thing, she's across from me, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck? This is so weird. I'm literally staring into someone else's eyes. We're both pushing and having a conversation at the same time. Never in a million years I ever think I would be doing something like this. It was crazy.
So I am 38 years old, and the way that my bathroom lines up next to my bedroom, the dog gets on the bed and stares at me while I'm doing it, and I'm like, bro, fuck off. Like, you just did this outside. It's my turn. Go away. I didn't watch you, you creepy bitch. Oh, the joys of pooping. And that goes along with the whole health thing too. The healthier you get, the more regular you become, and then
that's very true.
Not so amazing it is.
Yeah.
So, like, I had to warn Wyatt about that, because he's pushing on this diet thing. He's trying to lose some weight and gain some muscle. So he's going lower carb, higher protein. I said, bro, wait till you get the protein farts and the protein poops, because you ain't never heard the expression "peel the paint off the wall" till you've had 100-gram protein day, and that bitch hits you the next day. And you're like, fuck. Your own eyes gonna be watering sitting there.
You better hope you can hold that in when you're in class, because if you let one of them,
no, fuck that. Sharing is caring, bro. Let her eat. But so to go to, I know we kind of sidetracked a little bit. I see there's a question from Wally in the chat.
Wally asked, what's the best what best works to help with arthritis in the knees?
I mean, I would say definitely not like an expert as far as like arthritis and everything like that, but definitely getting something for your joints, like a glucosamine chondroitin, MSM. So that's gonna, for one, help with the joints, but just movement, strengthening the areas around. So you want to strengthen. Obviously you got the arthritis in the knees, so you're gonna want to help to strengthen the quads, the calves, the hamstrings, everything around that, and just make sure you're still trying to move it without pushing yourself too far to the point where you're actually like causing damage. But I think the main thing is it's just like anything when you get older, period, it's something you stop using it, it's going to get worse. So that's the main thing, is to continue to keep moving. Definitely get some of like that joint stuff, because it's going to help. Collagen is another good thing that's going to help as far as like with the lubrication of the joints. So especially something like that, a lot of it's just the joints not moving as well. So taking all those supplements to help kind of like counter some of the effects that you're getting from arthritis definitely help with that.
And you're from something that I've always heard is like guys with arthritis, gout, anything like that, your diet will help. There are certain foods that will cause inflammation, other foods that'll help alleviate inflammation. And so when your arthritis is flared up, it's ultimately it is all that stiffness, is the inflammation around it that's causing the pressure in it to not want to work and everything. So adjusting your diet accordingly to eat less food that creates and causes the inflammation, which is 90% of your processed foods do not help with inflammation
not at
all in any way.
I mean, most health issues in general, you're going to make worse by eating those type of foods and adding the inflammation. Doesn't matter what it is, whether you got a heart issue, any of that type of stuff, diabetes, any of that crap, you're just going to make it worse by doing that. So you're 100% right with that type of stuff too. Definitely going to make it flare up more.
I've heard that like if you look at how a grocery store is laid out, when you walk into the grocery store, stay to the outside of the store, because everything in the middle is what's bad for you, and that's why they put it directly in your face.
It's kind of true, 100% how they lay it out.
Your veggies, your fruits, your meats, your good dairy, all that, it's all around the outside of the store, except for the corner that's full of alcohol, and if Glick's in there, it's definitely good for him. But
that's the good part of the store. That's the best part of the store right there. Whoa. How you doing?
But
how you doing?
Yeah,
nice
I've always heard that it's a marketing ploy that they use. They lay it out like that because when you walk in the store, the fastest way between 2 points is a straight line. So if you walk straight in, you're looking at all that processed food that is quick, it's easy, although it's unhealthy. And a lot of people don't want to take the time to walk around the outside to look at, they'll cut through the middle aisles to go to the milk. Oh, look, there's a thing of cookies. We'll grab these, on their walk past.
Yeah. I never thought about that, but you're 100% right. Yeah. That's like, they literally is laid out like that. And I even think about when I'm at the store, most of the time I'm walking on the outside edges to get the stuff that I need. So that's a trip.
I heard that years ago. And I've every grocery store that I go to, first time going there, I look at it and I'm like, no shit, this is exact. Like all your fresh vegetables, your fresh fruits, your meats, especially your meats, your good dairy, not your shitty dairy. It's all the shitty dairy is typically in the little like coolers in the middle of the aisle back by the good dairy.
Yeah. Yep. That's crazy. Yeah. 100% is literally set up in that way. I've never thought about it, but yeah, 100% right. All the good stuff's on the outside. All the crap stuff's right there in front of your face, right down the middle. Never thought about that, but yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard that before. I think a lot of people are like going to be looking at the grocery store a little bit differently now.
Yeah, and I was even thinking in my head some of the other spots that I haven't been into in years, but I used to go to on a regular basis. I'm like, yeah, every single one of them, they're all laid out that way. Every single one of them. Yeah.
So do you follow a semi-strict like dieting regimen or anything? Like, do you lean more towards the carnivore type of diet where you're eating more meats and less, carbs and fruits and more meats and veggies kind of a deal? Because I know some fruits like pineapples and apples and stuff. Well, not so much apples, but pineapples and, bananas, cantaloupe, watermelon. A lot of those have a lot of natural sugars in them that combat a lot of what you're doing, even though they are simple sugars and your body can break them down relatively easy versus your cookies, which are your complex sugars and your body struggles with. So do you stick to more of a meat, a veggie, and a starch on your plate for dinner, or do you just stick more meat? Well, I mean, do you have a dieting regimen you follow?
Yeah, so to a point, I do more of like a kind of like a macro calorie based thing. So it's all kind of based around the macros. I don't know, for the people that are not listening, it's just your protein, carbs, and fats when I say that. And then the calories. So right now I'm kind of more like a maintenance, like bolt thing. So I have a set amount of calories that I go for, that I eat, and then I have a certain amount of protein, carbs, and fats that I eat. And then I do, like, as far as like kind of like you're talking about, like fruits and different things like that, I kind of do have them like more planned out. I have them usually closer to like my workouts and things like that, because I'm going to make use of them right away going into the workouts. I do still, eat certain foods that I want to eat. It's not like on a regular basis, like I never touch this again kind of thing like that. It's just in moderations now. But yeah,
instead of having 5 slices of pizza, you might have 1.5.
Yeah, exactly. Or let's say like here and there, I don't do this on a regular basis, but let's say like for whatever reason, I feel like I just need to, like, I've been sticking something real strict for a while, and I feel I just need to get off for a minute. I will literally do what I kind of call banking my calories, which what I have a lot of my clients do on like holidays and stuff like that. Like I have them just eat like 1 to 2 high protein meals, so they save the majority of their calories for later on in the day, so that way when they go like. Yeah, so that way they go like whatever. So it's Thanksgiving, stuff like that. They're not going so far out of their diet. Or let's say they know, okay, I got like 1,200 calories left over if I put this on my plate, kind of thing like that. So it just kind of like makes it to where it's not going to be as bad. Like let's say you ate your regular food that you normally do, and then you go have that pig out kind of thing like that. you know, you're going to go a lot more backwards. So I do have like my moments sometimes where I'll do something like that when I really feel like I just kind of need to break it up a little bit. But yeah, for the majority of it, most of my meals is going to have some kind of like meat based, something high protein in there. As far as when it comes to the carbs, when I'm in a stage where I'm at right now, I have a higher amount of carbs when I'm cutting. I definitely lower the carbs. I'm somebody that's kind of real sensitive to carbs. I bloat up super quick from like carbs. So like it's like night and day. If you see me where I don't have any carbs for a while, I will literally look all like more sucked up, and the next thing you know, I'll have like a good carb side meal, and it's literally like I just fill right up. So I'm real sensitive with that.
It's like
so
you're rocking a beer gut right after it, and you feel like you're rocking a beer gut right after. You're
yeah.
Like, God, I gotta unbutton my jeans.
Yeah. So yeah. So I mean, it's just like I don't have like a set like, oh, I only eat this or that or that. I kind of have some guidelines. Like just I always try to get like some kind of high protein meat in there. Usually for what I need, it ends up working out somewhere between like 6 to 8 ounces of whatever meat. And then, like I said, the carbohydrates just kind of varies between the time of day when I'm doing. And then, like I said, whether I'm cutting or bulking kind of thing as well. But yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, I just feel like the kind of tracking the macros and the calories is really the best way to go, because then you know 100% what's going in your body. Like, you know, I mean, all this is, I like to use the example, it's a little exaggeration, but like you could eat clean foods and still get fucking overweight. Like you could, like if you, let's say you ate fucking 10 pounds of carrots every single day, they're good for you.
You still ate 10 pounds if you didn't
still
burn
ate 10 pounds of carrots.
If you didn't
So,
burn
I know it's
10
a little
pounds worth, you're not going to lose any weight.
Exactly. So that's just kind of the point I'm getting at. So obviously it you know, if you ate cleaner foods, it's better than, you know, eating a bunch of shit foods and having too much of it, but it's, you know, still, you're still not going to
10
get
pounds of carrots is 10 pounds of cookies. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just might get a couple more health issues off of the cookies versus the carrots, but it's still in the overall goals, themes, if you're trying to lose weight, you're still, you know what I mean? You're still going to put on weight.
One thing that I struggled with when I was losing a lot of weight was I would plateau. And I'll tell you right now, man, if you've ever had to lose a bulk amount of weight, a plateau is the most discouraging thing that you could ever encounter when you're trying to lose weight, because you will hit a weight and you will just be it doesn't matter how much and I learned it, you can change up your workout 1,000 times. You just can't break past it. So I talked to, and I don't know if you ever heard of this, it's called a nutrition shock is what the doctor that I talked to called it. And basically he told me, he said, I want you to go out this weekend and I want you to eat like total shit. He said, I want you to go out. I want you to drink some beers, have some pizza, have some wings, you know, take the weekend off from a heavy workout and just eat like shit. And then start back fresh on Monday, because it almost shocks your metabolism, because you reintroduce that stuff that your metabolism used to function on. And I did it that weekend. And the next week I hit it just like I normally did. And instantly I fell right through that plateau and started back on the downward slope again.
No,
because you have to shock your body back in, because it develops routine and habit.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of times too. Like when I am setting up my my client's diet program or anything like that, I usually don't put too steep of a deficit for that reason, because let's say you start off and you put yourself in a 1,000 calorie deficit, right? You'll lose a lot of weight initially, but your metabolism is going to slow down so much quicker because you put it in such a drastic thing and it thinks you're starving. So when you go down slowly in that, you also you don't have as much of a plateau as when you kind of go down slowly. And I also do implement that after they've been, like, a lot of my clients have been doing it for a decent period of time. I do have those cheat meals throw in for that exact reason too. It kind of gives it like a little jump start to the metabolism. I do it for myself as well when I'm doing like pretty gnarly cuts. I have like a cheat meal thrown there, and it's for that exact reason. And sometimes not even just always a cheat meal needed, but just upping the calories for a period of time is enough to kind of get that jump start back going on the metabolism, going back in the downward direction. But
so nutrition shock is not a terrible thing.
No.
If you're far enough in, like if you're if you're going to start and you decide, 2 weeks in, I need to have this nutrition shock, I need to have this big old cheat, then you're bound for failure right off the bat.
100%. Yeah. No, it's kind of when you've been in the thick of things for a bit and you've been going for a while, and you know what I mean. And we're I throw that in a lot of when my clients say, okay, we've been adjusting the calories, hasn't moved, and unless they're lying to me about like sticking to their diet and everything like that. But for like when I know they've been doing it, I can see they're logging all their meals, all their foods, everything's been there. They haven't been snacking, stuff like that. That's generally kind of what it needs. The metabolism just kind of slow down, and we need a little shock on it. So yeah, 100%. Not a bad thing to do. I think the main thing is just kind of have it a little more set, because you can literally have that where it gets out of control too. I've had people that just go too far with it too. So, sometimes I will literally even just program them. We're like, all right, you got an extra 500 calories for the day. Do whatever the hell you want with that extra 500 calories, kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
But I really, one of the things that I think people neglect the most is just really tracking those calories and those macros, because that way how much is going in. So otherwise, like, and not always will be necessarily 100% accurate, but let's say 1,500 calories, that you put in 1,500 calories, maybe it's a little more, a little less, but let's say, okay, I didn't lose weight for 2 weeks in a row eating 1,500. So now I'm going to drop to 1,450 or whatever. So now then it starts moving the needle. So that's one of the main reasons why I go there. And then just two, it's an easy way to know the protein for not only just muscle recovery and everything like that, it helps with like the metabolism. So having that high amount as well, it takes more to digest those actual calories going in. So another reason why I implement it. So having the right amount going in there, helps with the recovery. Plus it'll help with the metabolism, losing weight, everything like that, being more full. So
now,
yeah, exactly.
Metabolism boosts. Like, so this is something that I heard is like, start your day off so the word breakfast is a combination of two words. It's break and you're fast. You're breaking that overnight fast where your body wasn't consuming any food. And I had been told a good thing that helps with that kickstart to that metabolism is citrus, like citrusy fruits. Like, put lemon in your water and drink. Like, if you can get an infuser bottle that's got the little thing inside, you put your fruit in, get that, let it sit for a couple minutes in the morning, then drink. Just drink that before you drink anything else or consume anything else, because the lemon is a natural metabolism booster. Do you know about certain foods that will help with that kind of stuff and whatever?
I wouldn't necessarily, it's so much like a metabolism booster as it just kind of sets everything right, like within your gut and everything like that. I do recommend doing the lemon. I do it with some like apple cider vinegar, as nasty as it is, with some like lemon, but it just for like overall like gut health. So when you get your digestion and everything working properly, you're not holding on to as much crap. Things are getting ran through better, and they're getting put into a better spot. I would say there's like really necessarily like a food that's like, oh, okay, you eat this and you're going to boost your metabolism. So like so much like that, but there is things like you can start your day off. Like for instance, like with like the apple cider vinegar.
That dude won the lottery, just so we're clear. The comment, he won the lottery because 6 eggs right now is worth its fucking weight in gold. I've got 4 dozen in the fridge. Fuck everybody. I'll take best offer. Let's see what you got. Come at me, bro. I might be looking for a new Lamborghini here shortly. Not that I can fit in it, but I can still own it. Those are not designed for 6 foot tall, 370-pound dudes. Not at all.
Those eggs are gold right now. Where was I? Costco. Not that long ago, I was in there.
They're still affordable, kind of there.
Yeah, kind of. But they had like 2 or 3 pallets, and I got in there, and I didn't go in there right away. And then I went in there, and it was almost down to the bottom, and we ended up. My daughter broke like 2 of the eggs in like one of the packs that we got. So we asked for another one, and they went back, and this was probably 10 minutes later, and there were none left. So we just took the eggs with the broken deal in there.
Yeah, you're down 2. So what? Yeah. But I went to Costco with my boss, not this Friday, but the Friday before, because I don't have the room or the storage to bulk shop like that. And but we've been talking about the meat deals that you can get at Costco. And so we went in there, and he got me 3.08 pounds of filet mignon for $70. And I was going to cook them last weekend for the kids and I got the steak out and I'm like, this thing's like this thick. So I was like, nope, we've cut it right down in half.
Yeah.
So now instead of 4 steaks, I have 8 steaks. And I'm like, at no point did the three of us, my 13-year-old, my 14-year-old, and myself, need to consume 3 pounds of filet mignon in one meal. Like there was no reason to eat 70 pounds worth of steak in one meal.
No, that's quite a bit for sure.
But he got eggs, and they have them in those 2 dozen egg cartons, and they were like, I think they were like $8 for 2 dozen or whatever it was. Whereas right now, if I get on my Kroger app or my even Walmart and I order eggs, they're almost $7 a dozen in Georgia.
Damn.
Now I know everything in Cali is more expensive than here, but still, like I don't know what the hell happened to the price of eggs.
I don't know either.
I got 4 dozen. If anybody wants to trade their house for my eggs, just saying.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know what caused that jump either. It seemed like out of left field all of a sudden for a second you couldn't get eggs, and then all of a sudden like the price was just through the roof.
I was told that it was because we had a bird flu outbreak and they ordered like 1 million or something like that, 1 million chickens euthanized for fear of it or something like that. I don't know, but if you've got a laying chicken, you are golden right now. Like if you've got eggs at your house, you are a lucky SOB right this minute.
It boiled down to supply and demand. They had that bird flu, chicken flu, whatever outbreak, and it was something like 1 billion chickens had to be put down. And we have an egg farm. We have a pretty large egg farm here where I'm at, and according to the news and whatnot, they lost over 75% of their chickens.
Damn.
It's funny that you have an egg farm and I have the chicken finger farm.
Well, they do a little bit of everything. I don't know what them weird Germans are doing anymore at this point.
All the chickens around here go for slaughter. They're not for eggs. They all go to Tyson and all that.
Yeah, so I know they took a massive hit. So when you take that hit, that supply and demand, obviously,
that makes
supply is limited. So we still got to make our profit. We got to make that bottom dollar, and then. But as the chickens reproduce and everything, I think the price of eggs will be coming back down here before long because it doesn't take long for chickens to reproduce and reach maturity age to start laying eggs. So,
that makes sense. So that probably won't last long, but
hopefully
it does last. Might be able to wait some money.
Did you hear me? Oh, we got eggs. I didn't even know.
It was $6 for a dozen eggs at Aldi's yesterday.
$6 for
at Aldi's. It's fucking Aldi's.
Yeah.
Aldi's. Well,
you can only buy 2 dozen.
You're only allowed to buy 2 dozen. Damn. They only allowed you to buy.
Yeah. So, and correct me if I'm wrong. This is just going off of what I learned the last time I did a whole weight loss thing. Cuts of meat matter in what you're putting in your body too. Just getting hamburger is not, if you're trying to do something more, pushing more towards the carnivore side, I'm just going to eat a lot of hamburger. It's not the same as if you eat a cut of steak or anything like that because, it's just the quality of the meat and how easy your body can break it down. Do you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
digestion,
right or wrong?
So huge. Not to mention too, it's good just to even have a mixture of the meats because a lot of them have like different nutrients in there. A lot of people I think don't realize, there's protein in them, but I don't think a lot of people realize like how much like vitamins, minerals,
amino acids,
amino acids are in there, and all those different type of meats have different ones. So that's why I like to have a mix up. I like to make sure that I have obviously the chicken because it's the leanest, it's going to be the highest in protein, but I make sure that I still have some sort of steak, and I also make sure that I have some sort of like a ground beef usually.
And if you get your hands on some
actually,
venison,
I got a killer. I don't know if you guys have ever grabbed those like tubes from Costco. They have a 10-pound tube.
Walmart,
yeah, it was like a 10-pound tube for like $50. And I was like, considering their steaks, at least over here, the steaks are like for like 3-4 pounds, like let's say like a chuck steak. It's like $46 for like 3 or 4 pounds versus 10 pounds of that. And it was like a 90-10. I thought that was a pretty killer deal, but yeah, I mean, overall just having a good mixture of that, is really huge. You don't, like you said, want to just eat hamburger. Generally, a lot of times too, that's going to be the one that's a lower protein, a little bit less on the vitamins and the minerals, a little higher in the fats.
Kind of what's left over after they take all the good cuts out of the cow.
Exactly. So you want to get a good mixture for sure of all the different meats.
And my kid right there just said something about salmon being the healthiest meat, one of the healthiest. How much fish do you incorporate into your diet?
Yeah, no, it's got a good amount of protein, and it's usually got the type of fat that you want in your body, the healthy fats that you want to get in your body. So it's actually good to have some sort of fish in your body. Like if you're not getting like a supplement with like fish oils or like the omega type of oils, flaxseed oil, that
fish
type of
has
stuff
a
like
lot.
that.
Fish
You
has
can
a lot
get
of
that same
omegas
stuff.
in it too.
Yep, you get that same stuff in the fish. So I mean, I would recommend if you can, you got the time, throw in at least once a week somewhere having a cut or two of like salmon or something like that.
I'll tell you what, man, a tuna steak that I never knew it was a thing until I bought one time.
Yeah,
a tuna steak seared on the grill,
it's actually
smeared
really
with
good.
pepper and lemon juice is fucking delicious.
Yeah,
And tuna's one of the fish that you can consume raw or cooked.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, it's got to be cooked to a certain. No, you can eat it. You can take a bite out of a fucking tuna if you want to. It's not gonna hurt you like eating a raw steak would hurt you, or eating raw chicken. The fish I've learned has a lot more fish can be consumed a lot differently. Now there are some that do require being cooked to certain temperatures and such like that to avoid different parasites and sicknesses and stuff. But if how much fish do you incorporate into your diet, do you think?
I'm kind of on and off on that. I get a little like when I'm in the stage where I'm at right now, like with the like bulking, kind of maintaining sort of stage. I'm a little less strict on it just because a lot of times I'm eating more food, so I'm generally going to get what I need in from everything I'm consuming. But when like I'm more of a cut stage, I definitely probably have like salmon once to twice a week just because I'm not getting as much calories in, and I'm not grabbing it from all these different areas of some of the stuff I need, especially when it comes to like those healthier fats. So that's when I do like to throw it in. Right now, not a crap load, just for, like I said,
like who's our billionaire in the chatters box that's got all this money for a half dozen eggs and Casey steaks and everything? Like, who's our billionaire hanging out with us today? Jesus.
That's our boy Xanthios. Yeah,
resident money bags.
We're gonna have to make a trip to Missouri. He said, "Bring the family. You guys get VIP treatment here at the Lucas Oil Motorsports Speedway." I said, "Hell yeah!"
So I also know that, like you've touched on good fats and bad fats, and people a lot of times look at labels and they're like, "Oh, trans fats and saturated fats," and don't understand the difference in those things. Isn't it the trans fats that are the relatively good ones? And the saturated ones are the bad ones. Isn't that how that works?
I believe so. Honestly, I haven't really looked into that or read up on it.
Because avocado has a lot of good fats that your body really needs to consume, but I can't remember what type of fats they are.
Yeah, I'm kind of spacing out on that right now, to be honest, too.
I mean, we have the old Google box if we need it, but
yeah.
It's the French say Google.
Because I know,
I feel like there's, and I just eluded me right now. I feel like there's one more type of fat on top of that.
You don't know that.
I know
that was the big thing back.
Trans and saturated that I think I think both of them you want to get a little bit less side of that.
I'm hitting up the Google box. Hold on.
Nice. For your clients, when you guys are doing everything basically online, do you set them up with like a workout plan, a workout regimen that you send them, or do you guys do like virtual workouts? Do you offer like virtual workouts or anything like that where you can work out FaceTime, together or anything? How do you set up there?
I haven't had to yet, but I've told clients that I will do that, especially when some of them are really struggling with like their form and maybe not understanding the exercise. But yeah, most of it's just like a program. I build an actual like workout program depending on their goal, and then I literally have it inside of like an app. and then it gets set up in a calendar and what they do for each day, and then they have to log it. So I kind of generally will have like a whole kind of mindset program that I have them do each day. They have a certain diet, meals that there's there, and everything gets logged in for each and every day. And so if they don't hit it, then I can tell, hey, what the hell's going on? How come you didn't get your workout in? How come you didn't, and so on that. So that's kind of how I run that, really help make it where I can keep them really accountable and know what's going on.
That was going to be my next question was, do you have an app for your
Yeah.
So you kind of answered that. So that makes it a little bit easier to track things and whatnot. I know, for me, like I said, I just go to Planet Fitness, but through the app they have everything where you can track everything and barcode in on each device, and it tracks your workout and stuff like that. And I just don't pay no attention to that. I just do my thing. I have my routine that I do. So
half of them don't work anyways. I do have an answer to that question that we just discussed, though. You have MUFAs, which is mono unsaturated fats, are about 75% of what are in avocados, and those are called good fats. And then you have poly unsaturated fats, which are your omega-3s, your omega-6s, and your fatty acids. Then you have your saturated fats, which are the bad ones.
Yeah.
So there's the answer to that question.
Yeah, I knew it was. That's why I was like, I'm pretty sure it was 3 types, but it's been so long since I sat there and actually got
unsaturated fats that you want more of than the saturated fats.
Yeah.
And the trans fats are the fake ones that they make to put into stuff.
Yeah, I knew the trans are bad, and the saturated sounded bad, but I couldn't remember for the life of me what the healthy ones were. I knew there was one more, the technical name.
The Google box helped us.
Yeah, good old Google, right? But yeah, so that's the fat you're definitely going to find, those avocados, the fish, the different stuff like that you're going to want to get. That's going to be actually healthy for overall. For fuel, for your hormones, different things like that in the body to get it all functioning.
Yeah, your hormones, not just horny goat weed, Chattersbox. Don't rely on that to keep your hormones up. So this is something that I've always struggled with. I know that using free weights versus machines is significantly better for you in your workout, because you use different muscles that the machine doesn't help to target. You might use them a little bit, but you don't use them as much on a machine as you do in the free weight aspect. I have always shied away from free weights for 2 reasons. One, I don't know proper form and such like that. So I was actually going to suggest, if you ever find yourself looking for something to post, potentially post the form of how to use certain free weights and how to do certain workouts, because I know the fastest way to screw yourself up at the gym is to have bad form on free weights and pull something, break something, tweak something, twist something.
100%.
And that'll set you back so much farther than just not even going, because now you have to nurse an injury on top of whatever else you're already struggling with. So, do what now?
Pain is gain.
That's true, but when you can't walk because you tweaked up your back, there is no gain when you're
walk it out.
Yeah,
just walk it out.
So as somebody who struggles with sciatica, a lot of deadlifts and stuff like that, one simple wrong movement in the form can literally put me down for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If I get that nerve rubbed off that muscle the wrong way, I'm done. I will drop right there in the gym. Somebody's gonna have to drag me out of there by my arms and pour me into my truck to get home. So do you do anything with helping people learn the proper form on using weights and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. I'm huge about that, because I did exactly what you guys said of when I was younger, trying to lift heavy without actually knowing the proper form. And I now have both my shoulders kind of messed up. My right's pretty bad right now. My left, I've kind of got that healed up, but I did all that. So I do really stress form quite a bit. I always, with my clients, if they're not understanding something, I either get them a video of me doing it and working them through it, or I find a video of someone that really actually knows what they're talking about and get that over, because you can really, as you said, you can really screw yourself up. And even let's say maybe you don't screw yourself up initially. You get down the road where you start getting stronger and stronger and stronger, you're eventually going to hurt yourself because you're doing the wrong form. Not to mention, if you actually truly are trying to like actually build some muscle and some size, a lot of times when you don't have the proper form, you're not even stressing the right areas of the muscle like that. You could be putting into other areas. You could be using your whole body, which is not going to be the like best if you're actually like truly actually trying to like put on some size and muscle.
You know, I've the best example I always heard was if you're doing curls and you're trying to work your biceps, pressuring off of your elbows is going to do more damage than you will stressing those muscles, because you'll actually create like tennis elbow or inflammation around the joint and such like that. And like we'd already talked about inflammation and whatnot like that. So
yeah, no, I can't stress enough like a proper form. I mean, a lot of times I think people always, there's still that kind of like conception like, oh, I got to lift heavy if I want to get size or I want to get big or that kind of thing like that. And it's like reality, you'd be better off. You put more size on if you actually just focus on really learning the form, the technique, and get it down. And the other thing I was going to say, kind of like what you were talking about, like as far as like the free weights versus there, definitely want to learn proper form. But if you don't know what you're doing, the good thing about the machines that kind of differs, like you can get good working of the muscle, but a lot of times it's only working a certain part of like that muscle, but the stability, you get a lot of stability out of those machines. So if you are, let's say, kind of in a position where you have an injury or you don't really know what you're doing, a great way to like kind of get into that point where you start getting the muscle built a little bit like that is definitely like kind of working a little bit of both. And if you really do have to stick to machines, a lot of those machines will have the different angles. If you're in like a really big gym, so like let's say whatever you're doing chest, they have multiple different machines. So if you hit those
or different hand grips, at least,
the different grips, you get the different angles and things like that. A lot of times you will still be able to get the full muscle. You won't be getting as much building as much stability in like the kind of like the joints, the tendons, the ligaments and stuff like that as you would just like when kind of doing the free weights. But I think it's better than doing nothing. It's a great way if you don't have any in there or you have an injury. It's really a great way to still be able to work out without causing any damage to yourself. So
I have an injury. A very common one in weightlifting is I have a distal tendon rupture. I don't have any bicep right here. My bicep starts here and goes up.
Yeah.
So that came from a work injury. But I will tell you right now, trying to get back into doing anything with my left arm, curls, bench press, anything. One of the big struggles is because that arm was immobilized for so long. And it even happens just if I take a cup or a cup of water or something, and I hold it too long in the same spot, that muscle will cramp so fast because it was immobilized for so long. But now I don't trust myself so much in maintaining form with the free weights. And everybody's always like, oh, just ask somebody at the gym. Nobody, as much as, and people argue all the time, but they don't mind. A lot of guys do mind. They don't want to be bothered in the middle of their workout to try and help some new guy who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And they used to have trainers at Planet Fitness. Now, since COVID, when they cut staff down, they don't have the trainers anymore to help you learn how to do things. And the app only shows you so much in the animation.
I think it depends on the Planet Fitness. I know, like mine personally, they still have a couple trainers that float around. However,
very limited hours, though.
Unfortunately, some of the trainers are in worse shape than some of the people that are in there. So it's like, do you really want to take advice?
Yeah.
Like,
would you take advice from to get off crack from a crackhead, kind of thing?
This is how you quit doing crack. But and it's funny because I'm a big dude and I know everything I need to do, but for me it's just doing it. It's it's putting aside the time. It's putting aside the time to do it. And for all intents and purposes, I get home from a 10-hour workday and I'm like, once I get home, I don't want to fucking leave again because I'm in sales. So I people all day long. By the time I get home, I'm fucking done peopling. I don't want to sit there and wait on somebody at the gym to get out of my fucking way. I don't want to deal with the crowds. But with their hours changed at Planet Fitness, some of them, they're not open the overnight anymore and they don't open till 5 o'clock in the morning. It's like, fuck, man. Now I can't do that because I got to be to work by 6. I can't work out from 5 to 6. I can't get that hour in that I'm looking for. It's just there's always some sort of an excuse I find, and I'll tell you, I'm the first one to make that excuse a lot of the times. But having done this once, it's just a matter of developing that habit. And what is it they say? It takes like 14 days to develop a habit.
Yeah. A lot of times too, I try to kind of hammer it into people. Is like, you gotta, to really get it going, you gotta kind of treat it the same way as you would as like, okay, I gotta go to my job today, or I gotta brush my teeth, I gotta pick up my kids, whatever those stuff are that you have to do, that that like there's no way around it. You got to start treating it that same way so that you can kind of build that habit. You just treat it as like something I can do, or you know what I mean? You don't treat it as like something you have to do no matter what. It's really easy to just kind of fall out of it. So I that's how I try to get people, is just kind of treat it the same way as whatever that stuff that you have to do no matter what every single day. You have to treat it that same exact way. You have to, you can't just put it off, or like one of those things that, okay, if I can, if I can't, oh else.
Yeah. It's all in the mindset.
It is.
I'd say 80% of the battle is the mind.
Yeah. To be honest, like most of the time, like you get when you get someone like me, like, yeah, I have the nutritional knowledge, I have the workout knowledge and all like that, but like you can find all that shit online. What it really comes down to more than anything is having someone holding you accountable all the time to actually do those things in the application. Like you were just saying yourself, like, what you need to do, but it comes down to like holding yourself accountable and the actual application of it. And that's where I think people fail the most, more than anything, is there in that area.
And you said you do help with like meal planning and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
That's where my biggest struggle, no BSing, my biggest struggle is the meal planning part, because I get burnt out after so many days of the same, grilled chicken and green beans, grilled chicken and carrots, grilled chicken. And I could 3-4 days of grilled chicken. I'm like, fuck, I need something else. I need to find a different way to cook it, or something other than just that.
Yeah. No, I especially, everybody kind of gets that way, but some people can kind of tolerate sticking on something for longer than others. But like sometimes I will literally just give like a couple different variations for like each meal that I have. Like, okay, you got like these couple options. You can do this. You can put these couple sauces on here, like that. So that way you're not just getting stuck in the same freaking thing over and over, because that can't, especially when you're somebody that went from like eating whatever the fuck you want on a regular basis all the time, and now you can only eat this thing, not having even some sort of change up, can be really hard. So I try to that's something I try to make sure that there's multiple like options, so that way, you're not just stuck eating the exact same thing all the time. Like, are you going to have the same variation as you would probably when you're eating whatever the fuck you want? Of course not. But, having some kind of variation, a little bit of change up is definitely very helpful. For sure.
But you got to put in the time to be able to enjoy, like you said, the eating whatever you want. Like I said, when I was doing 2 days at the gym 6 days a week, I could eat anything I wanted.
Yeah.
Because I was working it off so much, and I was driving trucks. I was hauling roll-offs. So I was in and out of the truck 60 times a day, walking around job sites, climbing on things, and so when you're doing that kind of activity, you can eat whatever you want because you're going to burn it off. But again, in eating whatever you want, don't go out and eat a whole fucking pizza.
Yeah.
Eat 3 pieces of that pizza, cut smaller, and you're good. It's moderation is huge.
100%.
And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I could live off a steak. Yeah. But eating a 16-ounce steak 5 days a week is not good for you. Eat an 8 or a 10-ounce steak 5 days a week, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, it all just depends too on like where you're at, your goals, what you're trying to do too. Like, I don't know, stuff all very.
If you're trying to cut, it's then you need what a calorie deficit. Ultimately, you need a calorie deficit. But if you're living in a calorie deficit and you're not active, that calorie deficit's not doing you any good. Ultimately,
no. It will to a point.
You're just making yourself suffer.
Yeah, you're just making yourself suffer with like you want to create. You want a calorie deficit, but you want some of that obviously to be created from activity, not just freaking food, because you're going to get to a point where you're going to be so starving it's unbearable, regardless of whether you're working out or not. So yeah, you want to have a nice balance there. You're just going to freaking kill yourself.
And a lot of people, from what I've learned, is a lot of people fail because they put themselves in a situation where they are fucking miserable ultimately.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. No, they go too all in. It's like, okay, let's I shouldn't say too all in, but they go right off the bat. They go into like, okay, I'm gonna eat 1,200 calories, this amount of grams of protein, this amount of this, like this, and it's like you've been doing whatever you wanted for years. You haven't done any type of activity.
You've been consuming almost 5,000 calories a day with this much protein. Now you're gonna try and go down to 1,200 a day, like
and you're gonna change
like
the
coming
complete
off
way
of
of
caffeine.
eating too. You're not just
like
going to be eating whatever the hell you want. You're going to be eating this meal to get this amount of, and so on. So like sometimes, especially when, you know, if you're doing it on your own, I tell people like, start slow. Like, all right, don't drink your calories anymore. Cut out, like start eating the sugar-free versus the regular, start getting the fat-free versus the regular. It's like those little differences right there starting out. You can lose a decent amount of weight just by starting to do that and start going for a walk. Like, you know what I mean? Like
16 pounds just by cutting energy drinks out. Because
yeah,
like
so
you said, drinking my calories was my biggest issue. I would drink 2 cups of coffee in the morning. I would drink 3 Monsters throughout the course of the day. I was averaging like 1,600 milligrams of caffeine a day. And when I tried to go down to like none, just to 2 cups of coffee, the shakes, the headaches, the withdrawals, you know, your body is going to go through withdrawal when you shock it with something and deprive it of something it's used to having. So yes, you have to start small or you're going to be miserable. You don't quit meth after 10 years of doing meth just by quitting meth without going through suffering.
Yeah, right.
You know, and the same thing goes with caffeine. Caffeine is a synthetic methamphetamine. Ultimately, it is an upper. So when you're used to functioning at that high level of caffeine, and then you go down to no caffeine, you're like, your body hates you. And you do
moderation, man. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing when it comes to fitness and weight loss and whatnot. You hear everybody say moderation.
Yeah,
yep, that's what it is.
Don't go to the extreme one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
the way I look at it is like the majority of the time you want to eat better, but it's not like you have to like, okay, I'm never going to be able to eat my favorite food again or that like that. Like that's too far too.
Yeah.
Like there's a nice happy medium that you're going to get the outcome you want, still to be able to live as well and have, you know, the certain things that you want in life as well.
And I think for the average guy like myself, and I'll speak for myself personally, I'm not trying to look like you, man. Nothing wrong. I mean, you look amazing. You look, you're fucking shredded.
Sitting on you, by the way.
Like, I am totally. Too bad he's in California.
Vacation what?
If you were just a little bit, no. Like
you're like, where'd you say you live again?
I'm in Ohio.
He's on his phone googling flights. How much is this going to cost me?
How much will it cost to get to Ohio? No. You know, me, I'm more just, I just want to lose some weight. I don't want to be shredded. I just want to be a better, you know. So, I'm one of those fortunate ones where I can, like, if I'm working out, as long as I'm active, I'm going to lose the weight. And I'm the guy. I love the machines mainly because I know I don't have the proper form, but I've also got a busted up shoulder and a busted up back and whatnot. And I have found when I use the free weights, I'm more inclined to hurt myself or be to a point where it's not necessarily an injury, but it's like, oh, fucking sore. I don't want to go today. I don't want to go there. I'll go tomorrow. I'm gonna rest up because my back hurts, my shoulder hurts. So I like the machines because of that. They do give you that stability, whatever. I know my Planet Fitness, again, I can't speak for all of them because I only go to mine for the most part. Last year they just updated all their machines, and like the chest press, you get all the different variations on the back. Like you said, you can move it around. So I find that for the average person, and being me, that workout and slightly changing my eating habits work out to you know, I'm not being a complete fat pig and whatnot like I used to be. You know, I'd go to Taco Bell and spend $20 and be like, all right, what do you want? You know, like,
yeah.
Now it's like if I get Taco Bell, I have a set thing that I get. You know, so I think it boils down to moderation. But what would your recommendation be for somebody who's not necessarily looking to get absolutely shredded?
I mean, for when you're just looking for like the aspect of like trying to be healthy, you know, work out 3-4 days a week, I'd say. you know, a certain amount of, you know, days out of the week, you know, cut back on some of the stuff that you know, you truly have a tendency to go to town on. You know, you want to get a little more specific in it, and you could track your calories, macros, to a point, and then kind of still fit in certain things that you want to eat in there. And then just on the other days that you maybe don't work out, just throw a 30-40 minute walk and do just some sort of activity on a regular basis. Because a lot of what kills people is they just don't do anything at all.
So, walking is one of the best exercises that you can do, actually, for your whole body.
I agree, man. I literally half of my, like, I do cardio, but like majority of how I keep my cardio up is just me making sure I walk a certain amount throughout the day. I track.
You're
I track
a 3-year-old.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
But these they make smartwatches that are 1,000% affordable that track 100% of your steps a day.
Yeah.
Some are obviously more accurate than others, but you know, if you can just hit your steps every day, your step goal. And I know a guy, Mark Marzocchi, lost 160 pounds, and all he did was walk every day. And each week he would up the distance he walked. He would up the distance he walked. He would set aside the time and just walk and walk.
Yeah. I met one of my neighbors last summer. He had got some bad news health-wise, and he's not able to actually physically work out, unfortunately. But that's how I met one of my neighbors. I seen this dude just constantly walking every day. And I was out on the patio one night. I think I was grilling, and he walked by. Hey, how you doing, man? I was like, yeah. You know, we started chatting up, and it was like 6 months that he had started walking. He had lost like 30 pounds, and he's like, "This is all I do is I walk." And I was like, I wondered why I always see you just wandering around the neighborhood. And it's like, you know, I'm just out walking because that's all I can do exercise wise because of my health issues. He's a little bit older guy, but I was just talking to him the other day, and he looks like a totally different person because he's been doing it now for about a year and a half, and he's a totally different guy. It was a nice day, and I happened to be outside with the dog and whatnot, and he came, hey, how's it going, Glick? I haven't seen you in a while. I said, yeah, fucking winter, I hide out inside. I hibernate, you know? Yeah. But he looked like a totally different guy. He's continued up on his walking. He's like, dude, we were chatting. He's like, man, I can do so much more that I couldn't do a year ago. And all I did was walk. And he changed his eating habits a little bit. Not that he ate bad to begin with from talking to him, but he's like, I just walk. I just come out here and walk around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I mean,
shit, man.
The good portion is just moving, man. Like that's what I tell a lot of people, like moving, like literally, like if you were, like you said, someone like yourself who doesn't necessarily want to be like Mr. Bodybuilder, all shredded, everything, just wants to be healthier. That's what I said. Work out 3-4 days a week, so you're actually working the muscles to a point, using them when you may not be using them. You know, walk 8,000-10,000 steps a day, because I believe, like I was reading, like 5,000 to 6,000 steps a day is like considered sedentary. So you walk 8,000-10,000 steps isn't that hard if you're just up.
5,000 steps around. Is considered sedentary.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm failing at life right now. I want to tell you, I'm failing miserably at fucking life. Like fucking miserably, I'm failing.
It's like my daily goal was 4,500, and I was doing things.
Let me tell you, I took this office job. It's a good thing I'm a smoker, or I would never have a fucking excuse to get up and walk around. And to go from being in a big truck and getting in and out all fucking day long to sitting in a desk chair all day, my hips, my knees, my ankles, you know, it all hurts. I find myself leaning on the desk. My shoulders start to hurt, you know. So this is the only time in life you'll ever hear me say, I am glad I am a smoker, because it gives me an excuse to get up and walk the fuck away. Like, it's terrible reason to walk away, but it is a good excuse. You know, it gives me that excuse. Because it's like,
you know, from the fitness side of things, because you're a dual threat over here, man. You're helping with the fitness, you're helping getting the body right, but you're also working to get the mind right as well. You do a lot of your Instagram has a lot of motivational videos on it. Or, you know, inspirational, you know, And of course, with that, you're going to have your haters and whatnot. But we'll get into that. Where do you find your source of your material, your content when you're coming up with those videos? And again, they're in the algorithm on our the network is Instagram page, so they're always popping up. Is that stuff that you hear? Is it like from life experiences, or where do you get your content? Because
So
you're
a
pumping out
lot
a
of it
lot
was
of
just
those.
a lot of it was just me. Like not as much now. I still do, but a lot of it was me just listening especially when I was trying to make like that kind of flip with I knew I needed to change my mindset. I was just listening to a crap ton of people that were talking about the stuff that I know I needed. And I was just listening to it a ton and then just started applying it like, okay, how does this apply in my life and in my area of life? And then, kind of slowly but surely just kind of made it kind of my own deal as far as that it comes with the mindset. And, I think, everybody's probably got like a little bit different variation of kind of what they need or where they're kind of wanting to go with it. But ultimately there's kind of like certain things and just a way of thinking that's, it's going to be game changing in your life if you change that approach to it.
So here's the question that I'm sure you get asked quite frequently, and I hate to ask it, but the economy currently sucks dick, for lack of better terms. What does it cost on average to have somebody work with you for a duration of time? Because I know you don't do it for free. Nothing in life is free except you have to pay taxes. That's free. You do that for free.
Yeah.
They say no matter what you're paying taxes. So what does it cost? And this affects a lot of people in their ability to get a gym membership, eat right, get a trainer, stuff like that. Groceries are fucking expensive. It's way cheaper to stay fat.
Yeah.
Like, no joke. And the insurance companies love it because healthy people don't make them any money.
Yeah.
So what does it cost on average? If I wanted to say I reached out to you in an instance and, hey man, I want you to help me work on this for a month. I need meals. I need workout ideas. I need goals. What would it cost me to have you help me for a month?
So for like a month for generally like everything I do, that's actually probably the most expensive way to go about like working with me. I try to usually actually draw people in with like a 3-month thing because that's usually like the amount of time that I find that people will kind of like they start learning it, they get it down, they get into habit. They get a routine, and that's actually where amount of time where you're probably going to see like some reasonable amount of progress, depending on where you're at. Like a lot of times you only put in like a month. You're not going to, you might see some progress, but you're probably not going to see anything like game changing where you're like, holy shit, like look at me.
You're also the
there.
last person that's going to see any changes in yourself because you see yourself every day.
Yeah. So I a lot of times I try to push. So I actually give like more of a price rate because generally I'll charge anywhere if I just do like month to month, it's like $400 or $500. Whereas if I do like a 3-month, depending on if I'm running a special the time around, it can be anywhere from like $750 to like $997. So I cut a lot of more break, and you're getting the way I do it. I have a actual like call we do once a week where I go sit there, we talk over everything where they're stuck at. So that way I can kind of like, okay, pinpoint there. Check-ins. I have a check-in. We do weight, pictures, everything like that. So we can really see where the progress is kind of like moving forward. And then if, they're having hiccups, something's not going right, they're logging it, whatever, some certain food's not there, we can make whatever adjustments you need like kind of weekly. So it's like, I can remember when I was working at gym, like a lot of people, the average, I think they were paying maybe per sessions anywhere from like $80 to $100. And then you figure all you're getting is workouts with somebody. Whereas when you do it, like, that's why I like
only for an hour.
Yeah. That's why I didn't go back to like the approach of working in the gym. I like the fact once I kind of like saw that this was a thing that you could actually provide like a whole nutrition plan. You can provide a whole workout plan, updates. You can talk to them on a regular basis, go over everything on a regular basis. It's a lot easier to keep in contact with them and everything like that. I can actually provide a lot more versus someone just showing up to the gym. I can actually, give the whole package that you actually kind of need versus, just getting in a workout like a couple times a month. So
just because I know like it's not cheap. A lot of people are like, oh, why do they charge so much? Trainers especially. Why do they charge so much? Because this is one of those things where what is your price tag? What do you value your time at? And it's some guys are full of themselves and it's $160 for an hour of my time.
Yeah.
When all you're gonna do is yell, watch me work out for 45 minutes of that hour, because the other 15 minutes you're gonna be telling me what I'm gonna be working out.
Yeah.
Is it really does it really pay off to be worth it? But in this instance, like you said, you're checking in with them. I'm sure they probably have some way they can reach you at any point during the day during a workout.
Oh yeah, no,
talk to you.
Once I bring them someone in on a client, they have my phone number, so they can literally anytime they can text me pretty much.
There you go, Glick. There's the easy way to get his digits.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm already in his DMs. Jokes on. I'm already in his DMs. Jokes on you, Rick.
Slid in that bitch. Did he ask you for a picture of your butthole yet? Because that's his thing. So I know that a lot of people get discouraged immediately by price point, and they don't realize everything that goes into something like you're doing. You know, you're accessible. It sounds like you're accessible basically 24/7. You know, they could send you a text or give you a call. Obviously, if you're working out at 3 o'clock in the morning, don't call this motherfucker. It's midnight at his place. He's got a 3-year-old. Let the motherfucker sleep. And if you can't let him sleep, I hope you stub your fucking toe. But so they get meal plans, they get workout plans, they get conversations. Sometimes it's just a conversation about what could I change today because this part of my body hurts a lot. So how can I focus on something else? Or it's just that like you said, the accountability factor. This is what I did today, and I don't feel like I did enough. What do you think? Or this is what I did today, and I think I did too much. Do you have an idea that I could do tomorrow that's not going to be quite as excessive or something like that? So it sounds like they basically would have that in one shot.
Oh yeah, no, and I make constant adjustments. I always tell them like, hey, like you did this exercise, it hurts your shoulder and not in the right way. Like tell me. Yeah,
there's good pain and bad pain.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, whether it comes down to your form or maybe you just have an injury, so we don't want to make it worse. So it's
you could have an underlying you don't know about.
Exactly. So that's why I make myself available a lot of times. Sometimes too, sometimes like I said, just having a conversation, like, man, I don't really feel like doing it today. Like, I don't think I can. And just having me like, hey, if you told me you wanted to do it for this reason, because your kids is looking at you and blah, 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 kind of give them a little reminder, push. And, sometimes it's, I feel like that's, could be really helpful. Like you said, because sometimes that's what it comes down. Just need to be held accountable. So.
Yep. And that's ultimately what it is, the accountability. I learned that when I started working out, having somebody at the gym with me made going to the gym a lot more enjoyable than going there by myself, and Glick will attest to this. So when I started working out, I was doing a lot on TikTok. I was very active on TikTok. I struggle with social anxiety. Anytime I walk into a place, I automatically think everybody in there is looking at me and judging me in bad ways. So going to the gym, the first 6 times I tried to go to the gym, I literally was in the parking lot or walking to the door, and I turned around and I left. Yeah. Because I'm like, everybody in there is going to be looking at me. They're going to be judging me by my size, what I'm failing at, what I'm not doing well, stuff like that. And it took one of the ways that I found around it was I would actually live stream on TikTok while I was doing my cardio workouts, and I would have an earbud in and I would answer questions that people would pop up in the chat box. And I remember one particular day it was early on. I was working out. I was doing my cardio on the elliptical, and I've always been a big dude. So I have knee and ankle and back issues. So the elliptical is ideal for me because it's low impact, but I still get my cardio in. I started looking around the gym, and you could tell that my focus was on everybody else and whether they were looking at me or not. And a friend of mine, Jason, started asking me questions in my comment box. Just the dumbest things like, hey, what kind of truck do you drive at work? What do you recommend for somebody trying to get into your line of work? Just something that drew my attention back to the phone and the machine and not looking around at everybody else thinking about them judging me. And so I found that having a workout partner or somebody that I can talk to or somebody who's going through it with me made it 10 times. What is the phrase? Misery loves company. Yeah. Going through it with me made it so much easier to fulfill the workouts and go to the gym every day and stuff like that. And I found that going at 4:30 in the morning, there was only 2-3 other people in there. So it was easier. I didn't have to worry about it. And one of them was a girl transitioning to be a guy or guy. So listen, they're not about to judge me for being fat. They deal with enough of it on their own.
Right. Yeah.
So, what do you're going to help to try to keep them focused on what they're doing and not thinking about the outside interference.
Yeah. You got to think about it like too, like, you got to think of it in the sense that you're not alone. Like there's a lot of people that go through that same shit. Like they're feeling like when they go there that everyone's looking at them, but you know what? Almost everybody to some sort of degree or like that kind of feels that way, or they feel like they're not living up to what their standards should be like that. So they feel like people are looking at them or whatever like that. But ultimately everyone's in there just worrying about themselves. They're probably not giving one thought to you in there. And that's what I try to like tell people. Like, I know it's easier said than done to get that through your head, maybe, especially if that's, something you're struggling with. But, I always tell people too, like the easiest way to get over something, to build confidence in the area, just fucking do it. Just doing it. That's how you build the confidence. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, like if you're going out there and learning a trade or anything like that, of course you're going to suck at it first, but how do you build confidence? You start doing it over and over and over, and you start getting confidence. She's not walking in there right away like, I got this, fucking I can do it. You know what I mean? When you know nothing about it. So it's kind of like that with anything. I've kind of like, it's a little twisted now, but I kind of like going and putting myself now in situations that I'm uncomfortable in, because I found when I overcome it, then I start feeling more confident in. And believe it or not, I actually don't like necessarily. I like keeping to myself a lot and not necessarily like being around people a lot. I'm like, that's just kind of how I grew up. So me putting myself on social media on a regular basis and doing these videos on a regular basis kind of puts myself in a situation that I don't like being in a regular basis, but I've actually been able to overcome it more and more and more, just because I happen to put myself out there on a regular basis. And it's not that I can't hold a conversation or talk to people. I just like being by myself. I like keeping to myself. So like, I like kind of thrusting myself in situations that I don't generally like to deal with, just because I know it's probably something that I do need to deal with, and it's kind of just helped me strengthen and build up on a lot of areas. So
yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. I mean, putting yourself in situations that are uncomfortable, and that's part of that journey that we take to get our mind right. Lord knows I do it. I mean, believe it or not, I have really bad social anxiety, and I hate like speaking, public speaking.
Yeah,
and
that's a lie.
Like people, I tell people that, and they're like, "Yeah, but you podcast like 5 days a week, bro." I'm like, "Yeah,
it's easy to sit behind a screen now."
Yeah, there's a big difference when I'm sitting I'm literally in my bedroom, and I've got like my little corner area set up. There's a big difference in doing that than having to stand up in front of a crowd and look out at people and go, "Oh shit," they're all looking at me.
That's a big thing. Nobody's looking back at you on a podcast.
Yeah, it's like, even though they may be watching, you can't see them physically looking at you, so it does make it a little bit easier to deal with in general. Yeah.
But I used to have the same issue when I would go to the gym. Was oh God, everybody's looking at me. Then I got to the point where I put my earbuds in, I pull my hat down, and I just go to work. And it's like I don't even. I'm at the point now where I forget that there's even people there.
Yeah,
start saying here. I can already hear Glick singing, "Man, I feel like a woman" on his cardio.
Sometimes I
just jamming up. Man, I feel like, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?"
Sometimes I do. Well, I know I may or may not have gotten in trouble for playing podcast over the speakers at Planet Fitness one time, because they have this thing in Planet Fitness where you can download this like jukebox app and you can play whatever. Well, I had it, and I was like, I wonder if, and I just started playing the podcast. And it wasn't hard to figure out who was playing the Nonsensical Network throughout the gym, considering I'm almost always in some kind of nonsensical something apparel.
One of the things
I'm just trying to get listeners.
One of the things that helped me was a simple phrase that, everybody's in that gym for the same reason.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're all there to be healthier.
Exactly. No matter what stage they're at.
Yeah. You could be shredded. You could have muscles on your shoulders like this guy. He's still there for the same reason that me not having muscles on my shoulders, trying to lose weight, is there. We're there ultimately at the end of the day for a healthier lifestyle.
Yep. Everyone's there for the same purpose, for the same reason.
And nobody started looking like you. Nobody came out of the womb hey, here the fuck I am with being muscular or cut or in great shape. Nobody did that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people I know, and this is something that rings true in my head that my dad told me years ago. I didn't get as big as I am overnight. I'm not going to lose the weight overnight. Exactly. People want that instant gratification, and it's not going to happen. I'm 38 years old. This is from, aside from the few years in, pre-COVID and wrestling through high school, this is roughly 30 years of just treating my body like shit. And that's how I got where I am. It's not going to take me 30 years to get where I want to be.
No,
but
it's not going to happen within a week or a 30
days either. Yeah,
exactly.
A lot of people, they want that instant gratification. And I learned doing my workout, you're not going to physically see the changes in yourself looking in the mirror for at least 6 months. You won't. You'll see it in the scale. You'll see it in the way your clothes fit. You'll see it in, the way your body feels. Yeah. You won't see it physically looking at yourself in the mirror. Be like, oh man, I've been here for a week straight. I should, my stomach shouldn't be bulging out no more. No. That's not how that works. Yeah. It doesn't happen like that. And, we have a friend, Glick and I have a mutual friend, Megan, in Pennsylvania, who used to be a bodybuilder. I don't know if you knew that about Bubbles. She used to be a bodybuilder. And one of the big things that she told me, and you may agree with this, and I hope I don't sound like an idiot, but the battle with your belly begins in the kitchen. Yeah. The biggest struggle with the weight around the midsection. You can look at Eddie Hall, Beast Eddie Hall. The dude is the world's strongest man. How many times over? Yep. He's got a huge stomach on him. Mm-hmm. It's because of the way he consumes food. Does he have a lot of muscle under it? Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Is his stomach like pushing on some dude with washboard abs? I guarantee it's not. I guarantee you that guy's squishy as shit. You know, but the battle with your stomach begins in the kitchen. It's what you consume and how much of it you consume. Yep. 100%. Like I said, a 16-ounce steak 5 days a week is not going to do the health things for you that a 10-ounce steak 5 days a week is going to do. Yep. Yeah. No, what it comes down to is how much really are you putting in your body and how much are you actually moving around and doing to expelling from counterbalance your body. That. Yeah. That's what it really comes down to, what's going in and what's going out. Like right now, today, I've only burned 369 calories. You know why? Because all I've done today is the fucking dishes. I haven't done shit today. But it's my Sunday. It's my Sunday. Today's the day I don't do a lot. But what I should do is get up and go for a walk when we're done with this and just walk around my neighborhood for 30 minutes. Yeah, 100%. So it doesn't take as much as people think either. A lot of times too, they overcomplicate it, and there can be a lot of stuff in there, but to just let that overwhelm, like just the fact that you, like, let's say constantly making a change to eat better, work out, move a little bit more, you're gonna get so much further than if you just sat there and thought about it. And sure, maybe do you need to learn more about nutrition, or do you need to learn more like that? Yeah, probably down the road, but just you starting out and just starting to move and do something, like just do something for first start moving the needle, see a little bit of like results and things changing and happening, and that's going to want you to actually learn it more or get the proper information that you're really going to need to get to wherever you want to go. But I think that's the biggest hurdle, is just doing it. You know what I mean? Like that, I call it, like, sometimes that improper action is the best action you can take, is just doing it. Sadly, Nike has the best slogan, and just do it. I remember going to the gym and going, I need to just Nike today. And that was what I would say. I need to Nike today. I need to just do it, because you're going to have days. And I've had days where I felt like teetotal shit walking in the gym. And I knew, I'm like, this is just going to be a shitty workout. It's discouraging. I don't fucking want to be here. And then halfway through it, like a good song came on my music, and I just started getting in the groove of things. And next thing I know, I was there 35 minutes longer than I planned to be. Yeah. And it hit a new PR on my cardio and left the gym going, holy fuck, that was a good workout today. Yeah. I mean, how often, like, let's say you might be more tired, but how often you ever walked out of the gym and like, well, fuck, I regret that. That was a fucking bad decision. I feel, you know what I mean? Like no one walks out of there feeling worse or like, oh shit, I regret that. You know what I mean? Nobody walks out of there with the mindset of that was a stupid idea.
Yeah, if you can, that's one of those things you can kind of put in your head, like you're gonna feel better after. That's a lot of times, like even now myself doing this for years, like I definitely have my days where I still wake up and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go do this. Why the fuck am I up this early? Gonna go
It's even
do
harder
this,
when you're getting up at 3 o'clock in the
sleep,
morning.
and then
To
I
go
tell
do
myself, you know what? You're gonna be less grumpy. You're gonna feel better.
it.
Everything's gonna feel better after you go ahead and do that. So I go do it anyways.
Yep,
Mhm.
Yeah,
you nailed it. Like it's just it's getting days you don't want to wake up and go to work. You still get up and go to work.
that's what I said.
You know,
That's what I was talking about earlier. You gotta just treat it the same way you were like your
As your
job or anything like
habits.
that. You have to have that
Yep.
same mindset towards that.
Yep. And by the
Gotta
way,
be done.
Minty, there are a lot of people that I don't want to picture naked. A lot of people I don't want to picture naked. I promise
Something
you
wrong
that.
with that kid.
There's a lot. Well, the list of what's right with him is shorter than the list of what's
Yeah,
wrong.
much shorter. Much shorter.
He is my pet sperm, so it makes sense.
Well, he did tell us you were on the spectrum, so
I'm on all the spectrums.
with going into this and doing this and everything like that, especially now coming onto the social media platform and whatnot, and I've always I learned a very valuable lesson very early on in social media, and that is don't get wrapped up in the comments, and that was even before we started growing our platform. Sometimes you'd watch somebody's or look at their picture, watch their reel, whatever, and then go in the comments and you see the assholes. And that would get you fired up. And it's like, I don't even know this person. And I'm pissed off because this dickbag is in here running his mouth or running their mouth, whatever the case may be. For you, and I know you've got you've got the new thing, and like I was telling you backstage, you've got the new thing that and it keeps coming up. Blue collar boys.
Yeah.
I know you're ruffling some feathers, man. And how do you deal with
that
people?
was the whole point of it.
I'm gonna have to look into this.
My whole thing was it's either gonna get some people to like fuck, I need to do better, or they're gonna get fucking pissed. But that was the whole kind of the whole point. I was trying to like strike a chord, ruffle some feathers a little bit.
I may have to plan a trip to Autumnbrook, California, just so I'm close enough to go down there and throw hands with this man if it's that ruffly.
It's not even really that bad. It's just but it is like it's a call out.
Yeah, it's kind of like throwing some kind of like it's basically hard truths out there. That's kind of the reality. Because I'm a maintenance mechanic as well. I've done a shit ton of construction, so I've been around all these kind of like the people I'm talking about is the exact people that I've been around on a regular basis for years on years on years. So it's not like it's not like I'm just talking about.
You are one of them ultimately. Yeah.
So I see it, like I work side by side with them, and a lot of those excuses are the exact same ones that I hear on a regular basis or I've heard for a regular basis over the years. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, Rick's one of them. I'm one of them. I've been in construction / maintenance pretty much since I was 13 years old. I
think, and I always say this too, like they're some of the most hardworking people at their job. So that's why why are you not putting that same sort of effort to your own self?
Because when I get home from working hard all day, I want to be lazy. I want to play video games and eat cookies, bro.
Yeah. But ultimately you're working hard. You're basically working hard for somebody else to have whatever their plan, their vision that they're going for. And I don't know. I just feel like, if you don't put that same sort of effort into yourself, I'm not saying you need to take fucking 8 to 10 hours a fucking day, but maybe 8 to 10 hours out of a total fucking week somewhere to like put some time into yourself to better yourself. Even I don't even necessarily have to be like fitness. Like, I don't know, whatever. There's got to be something that you want in life more than where you're at right now. And the fact that you can't take the time to set aside to build that, it doesn't have to be like working out, like in my case, or, fitness business. Like, fuck, I don't know. Maybe you want to fucking make dartboards and you want to start a business. I don't know. I'm just making a random thing, but what I mean? The fact, if you don't go for it and try to like work on it like that, you're still always, it's never going to happen. You're always going to be in that same spot. So that's kind of like the feathers that I was trying to ruffle with that thing. And didn't even necessarily have to be about fitness in general.
Yeah, the guys get on me because they're like, Glick's a great friend to have, especially when you're going through things, because his advice is fucking get over it. Just do it. Stop being a bitch. Don't talk about it, be about it. Because I was that guy for years. I was that guy. I want to have a podcast. I want to start a podcast. I want I want to have my own podcast for fucking years. I talked about it, and that's all I was doing. I mean, I was doing live streaming. I was live streaming on Periscope. I was live streaming on TikTok, and I was talking about I want to do a podcast. But it got to a point where talk is cheap at the end of the day. Now I got to do it, and I didn't realize it's a lot of hard work. It's not just turning on your camera and talking. No. There's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes, and there's a lot of things that I didn't know that I had to learn, and I taught myself how to do like editing and this, that, and the other thing, and uploading. And I'm not a computer guy at the end of the day. Like, I'm lucky that I can turn this sumbitch on, let alone anything else. So I'm that guy where it's like, stop fucking talking about it. I've been listening to you talk about you want to quit your job and start your own garage for 15 years, and that's all you're doing. You're just fucking talking. Yeah. Where's the action? Start out small. And I was that guy.
That's basically like the whole point of that video is, like I said, it's not necessarily directed at one thing. My whole point is, like, I just see these guys for years just bust their ass for like somebody else, and it's like, dude, why don't you they never do any of the things that they talk about they want to do, or the goals. And a lot of times too, like a lot of that stuff, they went and did it for themselves, it probably put them in a better position in life too, like in general, financially, all the way around. If they just fucking went for it, might be suck for a little bit, but like, I don't know. That was just kind of my point. It's just like, why are you always putting in something for somebody else, building for them to build their dream when you're not building your own? You know what I mean? Like, I did the same thing.
Yeah, I did the same thing to my fiance. She wanted to do crafty stuff from the moment we started talking. She when we were just in that just getting to know each other phase, she talked about, oh man, I want to do crafty stuff. I want to have my own little shop online or whatever. And talking. Just a couple months ago, I said, I'm tired of listening to you talk about it. What do you need? What do you need to get started? Well, I need but it costs. I just put it in the Amazon cart. Whatever it is you need, put it in there, and I'll buy it. No, it's so expensive. No, I said, I'm tired of it. I know this is what you want to do, and you don't want to work for somebody for the rest of your life. You want to be your own boss. So just here, boom. And I bought it for her. I said, now you got it. And then it was a matter of getting her to get to use it, and now she's gotten, a couple months later, and I get on her, and I constantly, like, I have her make shirts for me for the network stuff. And now I'm like, now you got something you can post. Now, like, my sister has reached out to her son, just started a business with his friends, and he was like, hey mom, can you make our shirts? How much do I charge him? I don't know. Give him a discounted rate, but don't do it for free. I know he's your son, but I'm paying for my shirts. You got to understand that
nothing's free.
Yep. Yeah, it's a business. Plus, it gives you something to put on your social media. Or your son says, hey, my mom, we shout her out every show we do here on the network. She's in our bio link. If you go to our bio link, her link is there for her Facebook and Instagram. And I'm like, even if you do shirts for yourself, that's something that you can put up and show people what you can do.
You got proof of work
to it. Yeah, I said you're not gonna just buy the machine and have orders out the ass. You got to grow. You got to show that you're doing stuff. And I wear my, generally now I'm trying to get her to where I have enough shirts that every show I can wear a shirt or a hoodie, and I want to get a couple cups. So every show that we do here that I'm a part of, I have shirts, and I want to get the guys' shirts and stuff like that as well. But they don't have to wear them on the show. It's not like it's a uniform, but it's something they can have, they can wear and represent, and then also be like, hey, where'd you get that? Oh, I got Beauty and the Beard Creative Corner. She's on Facebook. Check her out. She can get it to you. She can ship her, ship wherever it needs to be shipped at the end of the day. She sent her son a care package to Italy for Christmas. He's in the military. Her oldest son, he's in the military. And she sent him some stuff over for Christmas. So it's just like, we'll ship it. And if you're local, I'll fucking hand deliver it to you if I have to. Damn it. I don't care. But it's just a matter of just stop talking about it and whatnot. So I love that, and I think that's one of the cool things about your videos that you post, because you do post a lot of videos, and they're not so much, you do have you working out in the background and stuff like that, but they're not like this. Do this. You're gonna look like it. They are motivational, and it's like, instead of, I guess what I'm saying, they're not like fitness orientated, but they are more motivationally orientated. And I think that's what caught my eye initially. Was like, okay, this is a gym guy, but at the same time, I can scroll through here, especially if I'm like dragging ass one day and it's like a little kick in the ass.
Yeah,
like, you know,
that's how I kind of go
right.
for it. Like, dude, there's so many people out there like just posting workout videos of themselves, and like, frankly, I don't think people fucking give a shit anymore. Like, they don't want to see it. Like, not to mention, like, I don't think I have a bad physique, but I also know there's plenty of people out there that look way better than me. And for me to just put fucking workout videos up on a regular basis all the time, you can get that anywhere, anytime. And generally too, it's not like a lot of times that's just going to get you people like, oh yeah, well, I want to look like that. Like, most people don't want to look like that. They just want to be fucking healthier and look a little bit better for the most part. You know, and they just want to have a better overall life. So I just figure, well, you know,
I don't want to watch you work out, but I would love it if you would give some instructional videos on how to use the free weights. No joke.
I
could definitely do that. I've a couple times like started to do it, and then I don't know, I just got sidetracked. Sometimes I video so much fucking content and it just goes over my head.
Obviously, don't give away everything so people don't still need you. You know, I mean, there's 100 other things that you do for them, but you know, just for somebody like me who, you know, is trying, you know, the free weights has always been a struggle because I don't know. And I don't, I've had enough fucking injuries and setbacks in my life. I don't want to end up hurt again. So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
My son had asked, what does skateboarding do for your health? And I'll answer that by, have you ever seen a fat skateboarder? Ever in your life?
Cardio.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a skateboarder who is seriously fat? Because I can't recall one.
No.
These guys fly. Tony Hawk goes how high in the air to do the 900 years ago? They're not fat guys. That is constant cardio, constant movement. It's core. Somebody told me skateboarding's core workout is unbelievable because of the balance required.
I'm sure.
You know, you're constantly working core muscles. So yeah, if you skateboard everywhere you want to go, you're not going to be a fat man. I promise.
Well, it's kind of like those guys that do the BMX. I'm old. BMX extreme bicycling. You don't ever see a fat one of those guys because again, you got all. You know, you're to control that bike and do the tricks that they're doing. I imagine they're probably working out every damn muscle at the end of the day.
Yep.
So I mean, even just like you said, go for a walk, ride a bike. I mean,
you know, you don't just have to go like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go fucking bodybuild now and be like that. Like, no, there's so many different ways that you can, you know, exercise and be healthy. It's not just you have to go in there and hit the weights. There's you know, the old expression, there's more than one way to skin a cat, basically, kind of thing. There's more than one way to go out there and do it.
Yeah, the guys that kill me are
if you don't like lifting weights, find something else you like doing, but you need to do something active so you can be healthier, you know, feel better, that kind of thing like that. You don't have to go about it the same approach that I do it.
You know, I had suggested years ago when I was working out about, because I hear a lot, and this I don't know how often you catch them, but stay-at-home moms that complain that they don't have time to get the workouts in, or they're too busy with their kids and stuff like that. And, you know, I don't know if your wife works or anything or works out routinely, but simple things like I told my friend Morgan, you know, carrying your laundry basket up and down the stairs. Go fast carrying it up the stairs. Carry it up and down the stairs 4 or 5 times before you set it down to fold it. You know, just simple things like there are workouts that you can incorporate everything in your house. I know guys who are truck drivers who are carnivore diet and they're losing 100 pounds and they're an over-the-road truck driver. You know how hard it is to maintain a workout routine as a truck driver who lives in a small box all day, every day, and doesn't have access to a gym? These guys are doing dips off their front bumper. They're doing push-ups off the steps of the truck. They're doing what is that squat where you put the top of your foot on a step and do one leg and you just dip, you know? Yeah. They're doing those types of squats. These guys are, where there's a will, there's a way.
I was going to say the same thing.
If you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're an over-the-road truck driver, if you're, the girl at work, all of a sudden now, every hour her watch dings, and she gets up and she does 20 squats and 20 push-ups off her desk, and then sits back down and goes back to work. Like, what the? Beautiful. If you want to do it, do it.
Yeah. No, there's a way. Like you don't like maybe it is that's the case. Like maybe you are pretty busy or like that, or, even as a stay-at-home mom, but I guarantee you there's somewhere where you got 5 minutes, 10 minutes on and off throughout the day. Do a little bit there, do a little bit here, do a little bit there. I guarantee you can still control what you eat, regardless of what situation you're in. You can always control that. I guarantee it. So
because if you're worried about eating junk food because of your kid, feed your kid good food. Then you're eating good food.
Yeah. So no, I mean, there's if you really truly want it, there's always a way. There's always a way. Sometimes you might have to take a weird approach. I mean, I had a stretch for a while where I had an hour and a half commute back and forth from work. I worked a 12-hour shift. I didn't have a lot of times, and I did basically where I was just doing a crap load of supersets. I had like 20, 30 minutes to work out on a regular basis, and that's what I did. And you know what? I still pretty much maintained what I had. I didn't maybe necessarily make the kind of progress I made when I was doing like my regular stuff, but I still got it done. And I by no means got out of shape by like doing that. So sometimes, you're going to have to make some adjustments to make it happen, or you're not going to be able to do it in the most traditional sense that, you think or you're used to, but there's always a way to like do something.
Yeah.
So
100%. It's sometimes it's baby steps, you don't have to do a lot. I had a buddy of mine that was years ago, him and his wife, they were they were bodybuilders, competition, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, sometimes it's the little things that count more than the big things. Like, you don't necessarily have to go to the gym and throw up 150 pounds on the bench press. Do 50.
Yep.
I got one of the guys here on the network. That's his thing. I don't go to the gym because I know if I go to the gym, I'm going to be trying to throw up 200 pounds on the bench press machine. And I'm like, you're 3'7" and you weigh 165 pounds. You're not going to bench press 200 pounds. Shut up. But that's what I'm going to try to do. And I'm like, why? That makes no sense. I said, you're not going to do anything other than hurt yourself. There's guys at the gym that I go to that have been going there since I've been going there. I've been going there for 4 years. And their body has not changed in any way, shape, or form. But they're those guys that go in there. Now, granted, they spend the majority of the time walking around in there in sleeveless shirts, thinking they're meatheads. But then when they do work out, they're like, I want to curl 100 pounds. And it's like, yeah, you do it twice. Good job. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. And then you walk around for 20 minutes. But you haven't changed in 4 years.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
love little. Go ahead. You see guys what?
Yeah, as I say, meanwhile, you see the guy over there that's like got 30 pounds and he's on the machine, but he's there every day. He's consistent. And you watch that complete transformation from 300 pounds to like 170 pounds over the couple years or whatever. It's just like, are you not seeing what's happening here, guys?
You said something a second ago about baby steps. And I love little cliche phrases. Like that's one of my things. Even baby steps is still steps forward. Even if you're taking toddler steps, it's still a step forwards. It's when
if you're taking a step in the right direction, it's still a step, regardless of how big of a step it is.
Yep.
I like to take.
You could trip and fall halfway through your run. You still fell forwards. You still moved 2 feet forward. Yep. Get up and keep doing it.
I mean, if you really think about it, answers your question.
Yeah, even if you fall running up the stairs, you were still running up and you fell upwards, so you still made progress forward. Now pick your ass up and don't bitch about your knees and go.
Right. But I mean, if you really think about it, like anything that you've ever probably been good at or successful at, or anybody that you've ever seen successful in, it's not like they did all these crazy things, big things in 1 or 2 days, and all of a sudden hit a home run out the park. Like it's a little matter of small things daily. They're like, a lot of times it's just these little small steps and little small changes that you make on a regular daily basis that end up to a big result over time. I mean, it's not like most of the time you're not going to step up and hit a big fucking home run and have a big change in your life happen. And, some massive thing. Like most of the time it's a summary of little tiny things done on a regular basis.
Like we said a little while ago, you didn't get this way overnight. You're not going to change it overnight. It's not going to happen in 2 days. And I used to follow a page on Facebook called Couch to 5K. As soon as you stand up off the couch and take steps out your front door, you're already ahead of the guy who's still sitting on his couch.
Yep.
You've already done more than that guy still sitting on his couch.
Yeah, 100%.
So
that really is. I mean, and that's it. And that's with anything in life, like you said earlier. It doesn't necessarily have to be fitness, but that's anything in life. As long as you're long as you're winning.
Yeah.
You
I
hate
hate
to
to be
what?
the guy that does it, but we've been here for 2 hours and I still got shit I gotta do around my house, bro. I gotta get ready for a work week.
What do you gotta do? Play Call of Duty?
I've got 6 chicken boobs in my refrigerator that got to be prepped up for the week. I've got to split all my stuff into my Tupperwares for the week because I am meal prepping because it is expensive as fuck to buy breakfast and lunch every day. And now that I'm not drinking energy drinks anymore, I don't want to have to stop at a gas station and tempt myself to buy a Red Bull or a Monster. So I'd rather have breakfast made in my lunchbox and cruise right past the gas station. And it gives me an extra 4 minutes to sleep every day.
There you go.
Silver linings, right? Finding the little benefits, the silver linings of it.
Hey, that's some of the best ways to like not do when you're trying to like stop something is just not put yourself in that situation. Like period. Like that's what I had to.
A recovering alcoholic, you're not going to go sit in a fucking bar.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same.
Don't go to the liquor store section.
I'm going to stop smoking crack, but I'm going to hang out in this crack house in all my spare time.
Yep.
It doesn't make it. I don't want to buy Monsters and Red Bulls. I cannot put them on my grocery order. That's easy. But when I walk into a gas station, routine, and I am the biggest creature of habit. And I talk about this at work with my boss all the time. If the gas station's on the left side of the road, I'm not going to it. I'll pay more to go to the one on the right side because I don't have to cross traffic twice. So if I walk into the gas station, the first thing I do is cut left to go get a Monster, come back across the store, grab breakfast on the way, go to the counter. You know, I try. If to not buy Monsters, I have to not go in the gas station. Fucking cool, man. I won't go in the gas station. I'll go today. I'll get my cigarettes for the week. I'll get anything that I might need to get for the week. And yes, I know smoking is a horrible habit, but it doesn't affect my cardio. If I could smoke while I worked out, I probably would. I'm that guy. I will split wood with an axe and a cigarette hanging out of the side of my mouth. So, but like, if I don't have to go in there and tempt like going through the middle of the grocery store, if you don't have to walk down the middle of the aisles and tempt yourself with the cookies and the chips and all that, don't fucking do it.
Yep.
If you don't have the willpower to not do it, which I know that's a struggle of mine, impulse buying. Man, I'm exhausted, but I know I got a cup of coffee when I get to work. I just got to make this 45-minute ride. Well, I could supplement that and just slam this Monster in the first 10 minutes of that 45-minute ride. And then I still get a cup of coffee when I get to work. No, I don't need to do that. I need to go. I need to drive right past it and get on the interstate and go.
Yep. Definitely.
So it's that mindset.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, I know my ass is not going to do shit today. I am going to go play Call of Duty.
I actually found a new game that I am enjoying a little bit more than Call of Duty, and it's a lot less stressful on my blood pressure.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
Sort of. It's called War Thunder. It's World War II fighter planes doing dogfights in the sky.
I've seen that. I need to check that out.
It's very long. It's a computer game for sure, but it's a very long process game. It takes forever to do anything with it.
No,
but like that's my not spending money on the weekdays when I don't have kids here. I don't need to go out and spend money, so I'll stay home and play games.
Yeah, Sundays when I came back home to Ohio from South Carolina, Sundays became my day of no social media. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm not doing anything like that. And I would, that was my reset day. So like before my fiance and she moved in with me and whatnot. If the kids weren't here, I might go run around, do some stuff around town, whatever, get out of the house. Still try to do it if the weather's nice. But a lot of times it's just a lazy Sunday, just kind of chilling out around the house. I say that, and then I started doing a show on Sundays. But that was because
Ben doesn't get those. He's got a 3-year-old.
Yeah,
he won't go lazy Sunday for at least 10 more years.
No, that's what right when I get over here. That's time for me to. I'm gonna be on daddy duty because my wife's been holding it down with her, so I already know it's my turn as soon as I get off.
You're gonna be getting your workout in, chasing the toddler around.
Yep,
nice. No,
so I mean, your makeup and your tea parties.
Yeah. Yep. I still try to stay on social media and stuff like that on Sundays just to reset for the week and get prepared.
Wait till she starts painting your nails. If you need a good story for why you have your fingernails painted, I've got one to back you up. Don't worry, bro.
Hey, man. You know what? I had 2 daughters. My toes were painted. My fingernail. My daughters are 4 years apart. So
when came out of it and went right back into it.
Yeah, when my middle one, she would see my older one doing it, and she'd be like, "Oh, Daddy, what's Austin doing? I'm like, what, she paint I want to paint your nails. All right, and she go here, paint my toenails because she was so much younger. And she's just my entire half of my foot would be pink. It's like I don't care. She's happy. If you judge me because I'm a good dad and want to make fun of me, I don't care. At the end of the day, yes, my daughter's painted my fingernails. Deal with it. If you don't like it, that's on you. That's not on me. Now you're gonna get bitch slapped by a dude with painted fingernails. How's that feel? keep playing around. But no, man, I do want to say I appreciate you coming on here, man. I know Rick and I had talked about doing interviews and having guests on the sports show since we're diving into all aspects of the sports world. So you definitely came on here and quote unquote popped the cherry of unnecessary roughness as far as interviews go.
And it was athletic and active and everything like this. I really enjoyed this show. This was a lot of fun.
It's good conversation. I enjoyed it. I always like doing stuff like this. So
and I feel like I know a little bit more than I questioned myself on with a lot of stuff. Yeah. Like I got some validation out of my knowledge.
Yeah. No, you have it, man. You just got to do it. That sounds like more your thing than anything.
I've done it once. I just got to do it again. But man,
that's my problem.
Knowing that I have to do it again is killing me.
Yeah. That's my problem. Was like I was on a good roll and a good routine, and then I got sidetracked, and now it's like, all right, tomorrow. My plan is to get up tomorrow morning and go to the gym, get my workout in. I'll probably actually swing through there after I drop my daughter off at school.
As the king of cliche sayings, I'm gonna hit you with tomorrow is the day that never comes.
No, my problem is I take my daughter to school and then I come home and sit down. And then
you should go to the gym on your way home.
That's what I said. I'll probably hit the gym up on the way home, to be honest with you. And knock that out, but I do want to try to get back into my routine, especially since currently right now I'm not really doing much. Trying to find that new employment gig.
You can devote 6 hours to working out.
I am not working out for 6 hours a day. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I might get an hour, maybe 2 hours in, but yeah,
there was days. 6 hours in. There was days when I was heavy at the gym where I would literally be like, "Why am I gonna go home? I could just stay here and keep working out because I'm not tired. I don't feel like I did enough." But then I remembered that, a guy who used to weight train and train regularly told me after a certain amount of time, you're literally not benefiting your body anymore. No. You've exhausted everything you can exhaust and you're actually doing more harm than you are good. Yep. So that's why people that are like, oh, I could do 2 hours of cardio to start my workout. Why? You get your heart rate up after 20 minutes and then maintain that heart rate. You're getting the same effect as if you ran 2 hours of cardio.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, man, like I said, definitely appreciate you coming up here, man. I know we kind of had some hiccups along the way, trying to, we had some issues at home and, trying to get you on here, but I'm glad we did. I'm glad that we stayed persistent with talking to each other and, shout out your business. Let everybody know where they can find you. And if anybody's interested in, getting some help, getting a kick in the ass, where they can find you at.
Yeah, well, the main thing is,
plug.
Like it says up there, it's just the crafted.iron on Instagram is where I'm mainly at. So if, you're interested in getting fitness, mindset, nutrition coaching, everything like that, you want to get in shape, get your mind right. I'm the guy for it. So find me mainly, like I said, you want to get a hold of me Instagram, but all my social medias are basically the same thing, crafted.iron. So you can find me anywhere on any of those. Best way to get a hold of me, those Instagram for sure.
I just went and followed you on my personal Instagram too. So
awesome.
Thank you. And we've tagged you. I tagged your Facebook page on our Facebook post for the live today, and I've also got you tagged in a couple different posts on social media. So if you're following us, and you're like, we don't know how to spell or can't find this guy or whatever, just go click on the highlighted freaking tag that I tagged him in on our post.
Funny enough, when I shared it out, it's just a picture of your fucking back on your in front of stuff.
Yeah.
So that was what got shared out to, I don't know, like 20 fucking people. So
check them out. Give a follow. But if there's anything we can do for you, to help you, promote you, shout you out, just let us know, man. Keep in contact. Don't be a stranger. you want to come back on and hang out again, you're more than welcome to.
Shit, yeah.
Would like to I would like to chat with you again. I'm in the process. We had a show that's kind of on a little bit of a hiatus, and I might be bringing back, but it was all about men's mental health.
Yeah,
that's all we talked about.
That'd be awesome. I'd love to do that.
If I can get that kick back up and going again, would love to have you come back on that show and specifically to talk about that, because it sounds like not only from what you post on social, but it sounds like you got a story to tell and a story to share. So I would love to pick your brain on that aspect. But yeah, man, like I said,
you thought your stories weren't going to carry you anywhere through your wild times, and now we want to know about your stories.
Hey man, they're fun to talk about. I don't have
you
any
thought
problem
all
talking
you were
about
going to have was stories and a couple of scars, and now your stories are going to make you even more interesting than what you already do.
Right? Yeah, I started Men Caring for Men. It's a men's mental health show because Lord knows I've struggled with mental health. I know Rick's been through it. Some of the other guys on the network and some of our other friends, we've been through it. It's a place where it's all about men, and we can talk about just whatever, daily life struggles, financial relationships, and not worry about anybody judging or anything like that. And unfortunately, when I passed it off to a different host, life got the best of him. So he's like, I don't have time. I'm like, all right, well, we'll put it on a hiatus and I'll figure out where I'm going to fill it into my time frame so I can bring it back. But I would definitely, once I get that back up and going, if you're down for it, man, I'd love to. It's in the evening time, so I don't know how that would affect your schedule, but I would love to have you back up on and talk to you about some of that stuff. But yeah, man, like I said, don't be a stranger. If you're ever wanting to pop up and hang out, let me know, man. We got multiple shows throughout the week here that we do different things on, and anything we can do to help you promote. If you got something coming up, if you've got a discount or something that you want to promote, let us know. We'll throw it up on our
codes,
anything.
Well.
Yeah, definitely appreciate that.
But anything you got? Any final thoughts you want to say before? And you're welcome to hang out through my spiel if you want to, or you can drop down and still lift you. I know you got daddy duty calling.
Yeah, well, I can hear. I think it's just about that time. I can hear.
That's another thing, by the way. We can talk about that on Mondays. Is being a new parent, dude. I know my kids are 12 and 13, and he's got older kids too. I know the struggles that you deal with on a daily basis, and I know Glick knows how often we question ourselves internally. Did I do right? Am I doing right? And at the end of the day, we all have the same goal with our kids, to make them and teach them and give them the experience to be better than we ever were. That's all we want. We want them to be better than we were and to have a better life than we may have had and make better decisions. And that's why, like I tell my teenagers all the time, I've been there. I wrote the fucking book you're reading.
Yep.
Trust me when I talk to you. And as a new dad, where you're not doing so much of that with your kid, but you are, I guarantee you're internally questioning, am I doing this right? Am I succeeding? Is my child thriving with the things that I am constantly showing her?
Yeah.
100%. So it helps to talk about it and hear from other people who've lived it that, you're doing it. You're doing it. You're succeeding. You have a regular job. You're starting a second, you're doing your second thing. You're a dad, you're keeping a happy marriage and stuff like that. You are already succeeding beyond what you even see right in the mirror every day.
No, that's true.
Because I'm divorced. My marriage failed.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Mondays are definitely about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Definitely.
So man, like I said, definitely. Yeah, I'm working on it. Yeah, I know. It's
lazy.
Let me lighten my load of shows that I'm doing, because I was doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, twice on Saturday, and then I added Sunday, so I was doing 6-7 shows a week, and then it was like, and we're not getting paid here yet. By no means. We're still working on that. And then I was like, now I'm doing 4 shows a week. And then Connor's like, oh man, I can't do this show. And I'm like, oh shit, now what do I do? Because
takes a back seat for a little bit.
Yeah, Nikki's gonna strangle me because I dropped I moved some things around and readjusted my schedule for podcasting. And of course, now that I'm not working, she probably wouldn't have too much of a problem. But when I was working, go to work, come home, do a podcast almost every single night of the week except for one. And then it's just like, kids are here and everything else. And it's just, okay, hold on. I gotta
Yeah.
manage my time a little bit better. But no, nonetheless, man, like I said, definitely appreciate you coming on. Definitely looking forward to seeing you grow, seeing Crafted Iron grow. We'll follow each other and we'll be watching you do your thing over there. And I tell all my former guests on the music show, don't be a stranger. And I mean that. There's a lot of friendships that I've struck up with former guests that just kind of happen,
Yeah.
and we stay in contact and whatnot. And I'm actually going to be doing a show here hopefully in a couple of weeks where I'm promoting a gig out in Los Angeles for one of my former guests. They're doing Women Rock LA Part 2. It's an all-female lineup, and these ladies kick ass. They are phenomenal musicians. That her and another girl put together. So I'm super excited for them and hoping to have them come back up on the music show and hang out.
Who knows? You might find some new music to work out to.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of the artists that I interview, fantastic workout music. Fantastic workout music. So
hell yeah.
For me, anyways, because I seem to stay more in the rock, country, rap wheelhouse. But even when I step outside of that, and it's not out of design, I listen to all types of music. But even when I step out of that, those artists still have songs that come up on when I'm at the gym, and I'm like, oh shit, energy boost. I didn't even think that.
Yep.
Like an indie pop band would have something that would get me pumped up at the gym, and it does.
Oh yeah, yeah. But, right music makes all the difference, man.
Yeah, man. But no, yeah, like I said, I'll let you jump down if you want. You can go take care of your youngin, and I just got to do my spiel and close this bad boy out. But definitely appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no, appreciate having you guys on. I enjoyed the conversation, and I always enjoy just conversating with people and talking and getting their perspective, and it's always a good time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anytime, brother. Anytime. You're welcome back anytime. Door's always open. You want to come back, just hit me up and be like, hey, man, what can I get in this week? What's going on this week?
For sure.
That was fun.
We'll make it happen. Definitely enjoyed talking to you, man.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go take care of business, so appreciate again having me on.
Enjoy your Sunday. Have a good one, man. Appreciate you.
Have fun, boss.
Yep.
All righty.
All right. Ben Craft from Crafted Iron. I'll make sure you go give him a follow. Go check him out. He's definitely gonna motivate you, man. You're gonna put a little extra something. I've been catching it. His Instagram videos have been. I'm not gonna lie. I've been a little bit of a funk, but definitely a couple of his videos have hit a chord on Instagram and got me remotivated and on different things, not just going to the gym. Like you said, it's not just about fitness, but definitely got my little spark going again, and I'm motivated to start heading in some different directions with some things. So, but nonetheless, real quick, Rick, I know you got stuff to do, but real quick, I just want to touch on this because there was big.
So I just got to take a piss. So if you want to give me talk amongst yourself for a second, let me take a leak.
I've got to take a piss like 3 times during the show. You could go. There was some breaking news in the sports world real quick. I don't want to. I know we've already been here for 2.5 hours, so I don't want to take up too much time. One of the things is Hollywood Brown is returning to the Chiefs for a 1-year deal worth up to $11 million. I don't know if that's good or bad for the Chiefs. I think Brown has been a little less productive, but nonetheless.
All right.
Cooper Kupp and the Rams are fighting. Again, Rick and you and I were kind of talking about this before the show. I don't know how big of a loss this is or isn't, but Von Miller, the Bills have let him go. It's more of a name thing than anything else, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't
The
think it's such a loss for us. He's not been as productive as he was coming out of I think he came out of Denver.
Yeah, Denver.
He hasn't had the season or seasons that they expected him to. He just isn't. He's not there. Like, he hasn't played enough games. He's constantly, hurt or whatever. So I don't think it's a huge loss, and it frees up a little cap space depending on what we have to eat for potentially getting another edge rusher. Although, and one did just come on the fucking market that I would love to see Buffalo get their hands on.
Who's that?
Joey Bosa.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, man.
That would be
the
that
Chargers.
would be an addition for Buffalo for sure.
Yeah,
that would be an edge rush addition. It would be huge.
Yeah, that kind of shocked me that the Chargers released Bosa, but probably the biggest news in the NFL that broke just a couple hours ago. I know everybody's been watching this. Everybody's been keeping an eye on it.
Two of them, actually.
Everybody in the NFL would kill to have this man on their team, and if they say they wouldn't, then I'd tell them they're a fucking liar, because they are. The Myles Garrett saga in Cleveland has come to an end. Myles Garrett has agreed to a record-breaking contract extension with the Browns. It is an extension that averages $40 million a year with $123.5 guaranteed.
Well, there goes the ownership of your team again.
However, this contract has Myles locked in until 2030 with a no trade clause.
Oof.
So you, Myles Garrett, got your payday. Congratulations, well deserved. I was probably one of a small handful of Cleveland Browns fans that was not mad at Myles Garrett. I understand why he wanted to leave. I think he deserves to win a ring somewhere, and it's not looking like it's going to be in Cleveland anytime soon. Or I think the man deserved a huge payday, and I think he got a good big payday and he may never win a ring. But I'm happy to say that Myles is staying in Cleveland, and they've got him locked in, man, till 2030. No trade clause, and guaranteed $123.5 million, man. So that's money well spent for Cleveland Browns.
Finally.
Deshaun Watson,
pissed away.
Not money well spent.
Well, and so that comes right on the heels. The Myles Garrett deal comes right on the fucking heels of Max Crosby signing the largest non-quarterback deal in NFL history. With the Raiders, he just re-upped. I think his was like $108 million. For a non-quarterback position, that is the largest deal in NFL history. And so this comes even on the heels of that, and then you've got the release of Joey Bosa, which obviously everything you hear online is not always true. But one of the things that I had heard was that he wasn't happy that Harbaugh was trying to bring in the Michigan football scheme mentality and change around the way that he played the game. And it made him very unhappy. So he requested to be let go. Yeah, but when Bosa was in Ohio State, they were winning. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So this is just a hearsay type of deal, but rumor had it that he was not happy with the way things were going for the team with the mentality that came in after that.
And it could also very well be one of those things, because some of these guys, man, will not let, like, some of these cats just won't let shit go. Like, bro, you are really in a good position, but you're going to be mad because Harbaugh is a Michigan guy and he wants you to play a Michigan style football because you went to Ohio State. Get over it. You're in the NFL. You're not at Ohio State anymore.
Yeah, but with the skill set that Joey Bosa brings to the table, he kind of does have the ability to say, look, I don't want to play this type of football.
Yeah, but also at the end of the day, you've now been released, so now you're up to the now you're future's in the hands of the football gods.
I am truly surprised.
And what happens if he ends up somewhere like the Jets or the Giants or something like that, where Joey Bosa, who was quote unquote superstar, now becomes a laughingstock because he's not producing and he's not as productive because he's on a shitty team.
So that was going to be my statement. I'm really surprised that the Chargers chose to release him instead of try to trade him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that surprises me because there was potential for them to. I mean, he does hold trade value. Any way you cut it, he holds a trade value. So,
Bose wants to join his brother. I mean, San Francisco's probably is his brother still? Yeah, his brother's still in San Francisco, right?
I don't think he'll end up there. They won't have the money to work with that after.
I mean, they might have money. I mean, they might have some money freed up now
Purdy.
that they've. I mean, Samuel's gone. Ayuk wants to get out of there.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to break the bank on Purdy. He's going to get a goodie. I think he's going to get it. I think he's going to get.
He's not going to make Dak Prescott money, but he'll make 40 a year. Probably 40 to 50 a year.
Yeah, he's gonna get a payday, but they're not gonna break the bank on him. So I think they freed up with Debo leaving, and if Ayuk does go, I don't know if he's left yet. They're gonna free up more money. Fucking Lord knows what's gonna happen with McCaffrey at this point. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, nobody knows about that. Even the Lord don't know about that.
Yeah.
The Bills did re-sign Reed Ferguson and Greg Rousseau.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big deal for Buffalo. And they did contract is it Shakir? One of their receivers got a contract too.
Okay.
So that was kind of a big deal too. So I've heard that the Titans are looking at Aaron Rodgers.
Jesus.
Which is stupid, but whatever. I've also heard that he was going to work out with Pittsburgh this past week. Let him go to Pittsburgh and get smacked around and take them out of it.
Dude, every time I open a goddamn link from ESPN and it's a free agent or a player that's let go, they're going to Pittsburgh. I swear every fucking writer, every writer at ESPN is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
I think they're all just on the Tomlin dick because he Tomlins his way into the playoffs every fucking year.
Yeah, it's just like nobody is going to fucking Pittsburgh. Stop it. They got to figure out their Russell Fields situation.
Yep.
Raiders can't make the mistake of thinking.
Lockett gone from Seattle.
Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, Lockett's gone, and Metcalf might be on the way out.
That was another one. DK Metcalf too. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big one. Isaiah Worthy from Kansas City is going to manage to stay with Kansas City because they're not going to charge him after they arrested him.
I was going to say he got arrested the other day for assault on a family member or something like that.
Yep, he's not facing charges, so Kansas City won't release him.
So the report here is the 49ers and Joey Bosa are having good conversations.
Yeah.
So
also one more piece of news. Geno Smith to the Raiders for quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Geno, they're warning the Raiders to not make the Raiders can't make the mistake of thinking Geno trade is enough.
No.
To elevate their team.
Yep. That's true though. Like it's not just a quarterback for them.
They need Raiders. I
really want them to be successful.
They need some help. I mean, their record might say otherwise.
Oh, what the fuck? The Bills freed up $8.4 million against the cap, but the team is also open to bringing him back. Von Miller.
What? let him go, free up the space, give him a smaller contract. I've seen teams do that before. They release somebody and then 2 or 3 days later they re-sign them and their contract's smaller, but it's freed up a ton of cap space.
Gesicki staying with the Bengals. Hollywood Brown staying with Kansas City. Greg Rousseau got a $40 million or 4-year $80 million that includes 54 guaranteed. Man, oh man.
Yep. So
Evan Ingram's on the market now.
No, yeah. Nice.
Mm-hmm. So
wonder what he'll end up.
Christian Kirk went to the Texans. Go ahead. Keep giving fucking CJ Stroud more weapons. Go ahead. Right. They're gonna fuck around. They're gonna fuck around and they're gonna stack that receiving core, and CJ Stroud's gonna turn around and win a Super Bowl with a bunch of people who everybody thought was washed up.
Yep.
That's what's gonna happen right there. They're gonna keep fucking around, and that's how that's gonna go.
You just need them to stay healthy.
Yep. There's a lot going on there. Do what?
He's got weapons for days.
Oh, yeah.
He's just got to keep them healthy.
The Cowboys restructured Prescott's contract, freeing up $36 million in cap space. So, CeeDee Lamb restructured as well. They're putting all their fucking eggs in that fucking Dak Prescott basket still.
Mm-hmm. That's what they do, man. That's what they've been doing. It's like, why, dude? Why are you?
Yeah. Metcalf requested a trade.
Yeah, he asked for a trade. He wants
and Lockett got released. That'd be a good fucking pickup. That'd be a good pickup for just about anybody. Tyler Lockett.
Oh, yeah, he's still producing.
And Sam Darnold will not be franchise tagged.
Nope.
So
he will not.
Nope. Devontae Adams is on the market.
They're hoping Minnesota's hoping to get JJ out there on the field next year. So,
well, I think they're going to keep. I think they'll keep Darnold for 1 year and let him play ahead of McCarthy and see what happens there. So, let's see here.
I mean, I'm curious to see what JJ does when he gets onto the field in the NFL level. But Minnesota would be wise to keep Darnold as a backup just in case things don't pan out.
Darius Slay is now on the market too.
There's a lot of
corner. That'd be a good cornerback for anybody to pick up right there. Now I'm waiting to see if Lazard's going to be released too. That would be fucking. Wouldn't that be interesting? The Jets get all three of them from fucking Green Bay, and now they let them all go. Right after the Aaron Rodgers thing.
Yeah, because Rodgers is done. Devontae's basically done.
Well, he's already been released.
And then, yeah, man. I don't know where any of them are going to end up, but supposedly they're Devontae and Rodgers want to be a package deal. They want to stay together, so
that's fucking stupid. That is stupid.
Yeah, but some team's going to take up the Aaron Rodgers deal because they've got, they've got fucking Goofy McGooferstein as their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking, it wouldn't hurt Cleveland to take Rodgers at this point. Anything's better than Watson.
Yeah, it was Khalil Shakir that the Bills contracted for 4 year, $60 million.
However, I did see an article that I guess the Browns are talking to Kirk Cousins.
So I want another 1 year.
I'm not sure what they're doing, because of course, like Shadur Sanders, I guess Shadur Sanders, they've been talking to him. It almost sounds like it's basically a lock that he's going number 2 to Cleveland if he doesn't go number 1, which I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't think he's gonna. He's held out during the combine. He's held back during the combine and said that I'll prove it to the NFL teams when I work out with him privately. Like, bro, you're not that fucking good.
Well, he's got that same fucking ego that his dad has at the end of the day.
Yeah, Caleb Williams had the same ego too, and look where that fucking landed him.
Chicago.
Congratulations, Caleb Williams.
Mind your business, Wyatt. We had some football.
He is right, though. We're coming up on fucking 3 hours, man.
We are. I just wanted to touch on. I didn't want to dive too much into sports, but I know there was some breaking news this weekend with the, obviously, like I said, the biggest news being the Miles. And I'm not just saying that as a Browns fan. I mean, it's the biggest news in the NFL right now. The Myles Garrett situation. Everybody's been watching it and monitoring it, especially potential landing spots. Teams that were probably scratching their heads going,
how can we get him?
This trade, we're going to have to empty the bank accounts. And then they go, oh, wait, it's Cleveland. We'll give them 7 seventh-round draft picks in 2045, and they'll take it.
Yeah. Also, big news in UFC. Goliath beat Alex Pereira last night for the light heavyweight championship.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
In decision after 5 rounds. And Justin Gaethje and Fiziev went at it in a straight-out fucking boxing match, son.
Nice.
And Gaethje ended up getting the win, so now they're tied at 2. So...
yeah, I forgot to, what was that, 313 was on? Yeah, UFC 313.
Yeah, but it was a pay-per-view, so you weren't going to order it, I promise. You weren't spending $80 on something you don't watch regularly.
No. Fight night returns with next Saturday.
Yep, my mom and I split it, so I threw in some cash on it, and we both watched it, so.
Oh, still there's no names in here that I recognize for fight night next
week. Probably won't be.
What's on the preliminary? Yep. I don't recognize anybody here.
Too funny. It would be something you can pop on in the background on your Saturday night show, though.
So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to start doing for the fight nights. As long as there's not a WWE pay-per-view on at the same time. Yeah. So next week I'll have it on in the background while we're doing the show, to kind of, especially if we have another low-key Saturday night like we had last night. Jeez Louise. Yeah. It was fun. No, we still had fun, man. We had some good conversation, whatnot. Our boy Untrackable came up and hung out for a little bit, for actually a long while. Untrackable was up there for him. He was up there for a hot long minute. We were having fun, man. We were having good conversations, and like I said, it doesn't always have to be wild and crazy on a Saturday night.
No, I just hung out and played some video games and watched the fights, and I went to bed.
So we did that. We got done. I went out, got some to eat, and then Nikki and I were in bed. Of course, we didn't. Of course, it was like 3:00 because of the time change. When we went to bed, but nonetheless. But anywho, we'll wrap this up again. Shout out to Ben Kraft from Crafted Iron. Thank you for coming on today. That was awesome. Definitely cool to chat with him.
Show.
Definitely, hopefully help people learn some things, especially in the fitness world and whatnot. And, if you guys want somebody that's going to help you and motivate you and train you, hit him up. Let it get, give him a holler over there at Crafted Iron on Instagram and see what he can do for you. In the meantime, make sure you guys are following us as well. We are everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Shows live Monday through Sunday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And if you're a Twitch follower, be on the lookout for this dumbass playing Call of Duty as I continue my camo grind. I've got 4 diamond guns, Rick.
We won't talk about mine.
Well, I've discovered getting the gold and getting the diamond are relatively easy. It's
getting through the headshots. The headshots are the worst.
Yeah, which I was going to start my SMG run for gold.
Those are
but
easy.
I was like, nope. I'm just gonna go ahead and get all my. Oh yeah,
super
SMG.
easy.
Well,
ARs, SMGs, and shotguns are the easiest because hip fire, but keep your aim up high.
Yeah,
and you'll get every point blank. Every point blank will be a headshot.
I was probably averaging about 7 to 8, if not more, headshots a game.
Yep. And if you get on and play domination with us, we'll glitch you out, and you can average like 18 a game.
Glitch me out. What?
So domination on stakeout. If everybody except if you go to the balcony and sit on the balcony, and everybody else pushes through B and through the middle, and we get one person in their spawn, the entire other team will spawn on the middle balcony, and you just sit there sighted up and just.
No, nice.
I mean, you can literally. A guy Lennon we play with, dropped 28 headshots with a pistol in one match.
Hell yeah.
Because they they get pissed and they'll rage quit because they spawn die. Like bodies don't finish falling before the next guy spawns and you pop him.
Hell yeah.
Like it's a nasty glitch, and if we do it right and pull it off, you'll get some headshots.
Hell yeah. Now, I do. Like I said, I flew through the headshots. Like I said, I was gonna go ahead and move on to the SMGs, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get all my assault rifles diamond, and then I'll just move on to the SMGs, and that way, and then I'll get them diamond, and then I'll move on to the shotguns, whatever the case may be. I don't know. Yep. I'm in no hurry. I'm just doing it to do it at the end of the day. You know,
because you're not doing anything else during the day.
Pretty much, exactly. So I'm gonna go grind some today. But anyways, follow us Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Go ahead. Show's live. This is 4 o'clock. God, it is 4 o'clock. Yeah. Show's live Monday through Sunday. Yeah, I know. YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And you can listen anytime, any place, wherever you listen to podcasts at. All at the Nonsensical Network. bio.link/Nonsensical Network. Make sure you guys give Beauty and the Beard Creative Corner on Facebook and Instagram a follow. Hit Nikki up if you want to get some nonsensical swag, or if you just want some personalized shit, Nikki will get you all taken care of. And I don't know what anything costs. She'll have to tell you the pricing. But yeah, man. With that being said, we'll see you guys next Sunday. Tune in later, homies. Tune in tomorrow night. Wally will have Corey Butcher from We Broke Garage, and they're gonna be talking car shit. And then Tuesday, I'll be hanging out with Solo from Reckless High, and then Friday night, Blaze and Jeff will have stand-up comedian Michael Copenhagen on their show. So we've got a week-long guest, man. We booked up the week pretty much with guests, and I think Wally might have a guest on Thursday night as well. So, but I'm not 100% sure. So I mean, yeah, we got lots of guests coming up. So lots of new people you guys can check out and see what they're doing. But yeah, with that being said, be good or be good at it, motherfuckers.
Later, homies.
Later. Hit this.
Nonsensical Network, different flavor every day. Movie talks, new flicks hitting the display. Microphone magic, musicians spill the praise. From reptiles to motorsports, burning rubber craze. Football crashes, touchdowns, epic plays. News spinning, catching on the latest phase. Gleaming cars, engines roaring up the pace. Street tales, urban stories we embrace. Tune in, every week diverse. Groove to the beats, let the rhythm immerse. Lyrics flowing, ciphers full of verse. Nonsensical Network, feel the universe. Interviews buzzing, stars in the circuit. Worlds of tapestry, pieces we interpret. Hip-hop to rap, the flow never stagnant. Reptilian tales, nature's arrangement. Cars with muscle, engines with might. Motorsports roaring, speed in the night. Discussions heated, always a delight. Network of nonsense, but the vibe's just right. Tune in, wait for that beat. Flow so seamless, feeling so sweet. Urban grooves, rhythm from the street. Nonsensical network, always on repeat.